Oh, what's up, everybody? We live on YouTube, we live on Twitch, we live on X, we live on both Facebook pages, and we are live right here in my home, my beautiful, beautiful studio. Okay, that we had to work very hard for. We didn't have to kiss no Hollywood, but we did have to go and punch in and punch on out. But we have a lot to discuss in this particular Easter video. And I'm not about to get up in here and be so spiritual, when it comes to Easter. Because first of all, let me tell you, Easter is another day. All right. Y'all take, especially us black folks, we take, Resurrection Day, and we buy Easter baskets and we buy clothes. Listen, this was a regular day for me. Every day, and I'm not as so religious, but every day I wake up and I'm alive and I'm in my right mind. I thank God for Jesus. Okay? I thank God for Jesus. So every day I wake up out my sleep and I can put on my clothes without no assistance. I thank Jesus for that because he rose in my life when I'm a productive citizen, right? I'm not out there robbing nobody. Come on now. I'm not out there being no Kia boy. I'm not out there hoeing on the street. I thank Jesus for that. He changed my life. There was a time I was out in the street doing foolish things, being around foolish people, but he had put a change down in my soul. He had put a change down in my soul. So again, I'm not caught up on the day that Jesus rose. I'm just caught up that he did. I'm not caught up on the time. I'm not caught on when it happened on a Sunday. It happened on a Saturday. It happened on a Monday. Because what I do know, it happened. Oh, I know that. I know that. I know that. What he had prophesied to his disciples. That, yeah, I will be crucified, but on the third day, I would rise. And he did exactly that, the Son of God. Amen. So again, I'm not caught up on a date. I'm just caught up that it happened. All right? And I'm so glad that Jesus died for my sins, that I'm yet able to sit here seeing free. And by grace and mercy, I am here with you all today. So I'm not caught up on what had happened on a Sunday, it happened on a Friday, whatever day it happened. I thank God that he sent his only son for my sins, for my brother's sins, for your sins, for your mama's sins, for your daddy's sins, for your grandmama's sins, and your granddaddy. Woo! And I thank God for that. Type amen in the chat. So again, I'm not caught up on the date. I'm just caught up on that it happened. And I'm so glad that Jesus died, but he didn't stay in that grave. He was too powerful. He couldn't stay in that grave. The grave could keep Jesus. That's the Son of God. You can't keep Jesus. Oh, no. He had to rise up out of death. Come on. Oh, don't let me get in my Bible. But we're not going to get into it because we got to get a little messy. But just give me a couple 30 seconds. And before when he was about to get crucified, it was about two thieves on that cross. And one of the thieves said, to Jesus. When you get there, remember me. Woo! And he died. He was crucified. Oh, yes, he was. But he got up. I don't care how much security. I don't care how many soldiers you got protecting Jesus. You cannot prevent and try to make God to be a liar. Because if God says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You can have a whole battalion of your best soldiers. When God say on the third day that you going to rise, you best to believe that you in that wig and them eyelashes is going to rise on the third day. It reminded me of Lazarus. Give me a second. And they came to Jesus and they said, Jesus, pretty much, you too late. He's stinking by now. And Jesus he said to those women, show me where you laid him. And Jesus went to the grave. And he said to Lazarus, Lazarus. He said it with authority. He said it with power. And Lazarus got up out that grave. I don't care how long you've been dead. When Jesus said, get up, you're going to get up. And let's move on. I felt that right there. And now, okay, we got a little church here. All right, about to get a little ghetto. You see how quick you got a good message within 7 minutes? I didn't have to take your whole day. I gave you a word within 7 minutes, and everything in you should be quickened. Everything, if you were sick, you should be healed. If you got arthritis should be gone. You should be thanking God right now. You got a message. Now, we got to be a little messy. Paul, if you're in here, if you're not eating the Easter egg, eating no chocolate, I got to see you in the back. Where you at? I know y'all in the bushes. See, when you own and operate your own show, you ain't got to ask. Nobody. No executive. I ain't got to call nobody at Fox Soul and say, Fox Soul, can I go live at 10 o'clock at night and talk about my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? I ain't got to get from Fox Soul. I ain't got to get permission from Fox Soul to talk about Tyrese and that bald-headed head of his. Now, while I was in my sleep minding my own business, I was thinking about brother Tyrese. This brother is on the screen because today he was disturbed because he put out a lie and said that President Joe Biden replaced Easter with Transgender Visibility Day. And if Tyrese would have did a basic Google search, just a basic Google search, this day has been going on since 2010. But because he's black and he's one of the black folks that don't read, he's one of the black folks that don't open up a book and get the full information before he run and tell a story, he looked like an idiot. I just don't understand how y'all gonna replace Resurrection Day with transgender women. He didn't replace Transgender Visibility Day. That holiday or awareness has been going on since 2010. It just so happened to be on the same day as Easter. And what you black folks call resurrection and getting in all that debt. Your credit score need to be resurrected. And the reason why it ain't resurrected because you too busy spending all that money money that you don't have. Spending with them credit cards with the APR rate at 29.99%. Because you want to talk about Jesus rose on this day. You buying suits that you can't afford. You buying hair that you can't afford. And you want to talk about the president of the United States, Tyrese. Wouldn't you just cry? Because you couldn't put your peen under subjection. Your peen was resurrected in somebody's yoni, and she got pregnant, and she took your bald-headed behind the court. Now you trying to get the love from the Christian community because you trying to get a Christian bag. You want to be swallowed up and be a preacher. You want to be like Maze from Bad Boys because you got to pay all that child support. You wasn't worried about Jesus. You wasn't worried about being a virgin like Jesus. You wasn't worried about not being a fornicator because Jesus was not a fornicator. Jesus was not an adulterer. Jesus was sin free. He was perfect. But yet you want to represent Jesus, but yet you living like the devil. Talk back to me in this chat. Kids that you don't want to have because the women, the gold diggers, they want your bag, and you get up on the internet and you want to cry. Get somebody and sit down. Okay? Ain't nobody got time for all that foolishness. Ain't got time for that at all. The president of the United States ain't pandering in this case. I'm not saying that the president don't pander. I'm saying in this particular case, Joe Biden didn't do nothing wrong. I'm coming at the Tyrese because what he said was misinformation. He didn't pick up no damn phone. Oh, he got the call. He Tyrese. He can call the White House. He can call the secretary. The press secretary of the White House, Biden press secretary. He could have called the Congressional Black Caucus. He could have called his senator of his state. He just ignorant, foolish. You put out a lie. Wasn't you the same one that tried to vote and you didn't even know the voting laws in Georgia because you thought California law was the same law in Georgia? You don't know how to, I knew then, you don't do your research. You may know how to read a script, but when the last time you ever won an Academy Award? Never. When the last time you cried and gave a speech at the NAACP? When the last time, brother? Sit down with your foolish self and go on out there and pay your child support debt. Can't get mad that the president is giving Transgender Visibility Day. He could give Transgender Visibility Day if he the president of the United States. He's just not the president of the United States for straight people. He's not just the president of the United States for the gay people. He's not the president of the United States for the trans people. He's the president for all people. So he have to represent each demographic that he can. He got to cater towards the trans. He got to cater towards the gays. He got to cater towards the straights. He got to cater towards the down low. Whoever he feel that is a voting bloc that's going to get him reelected in November, he got to sit there and pander. Just like, and Glorilla, don't get offended when I say this, sister, because, yeah, Glo, I like your song, yeah, Glo. It grew on me at the gym. But this country bumpkin was at the White House. And Joe Biden, the president of the United States of America, Glorilla was on her phone. Yeah, Joe. Don't know. Yeah, you. He ain't black. But because Glorilla is a black from the South, this advisor said she got the young people. So she got up there, yeah, Joe, no, yeah, you. He couldn't even open up his eyeballs. But nevertheless, I got to say this, and I can't really bring the picture up because Paul somewhere he too busy in the chat instead of being working behind the scenes, putting up these pictures. Anyway, so Glorilla got invited to CNN. And CNN wanted to ask her about Joe Biden. Are you endorsing? I ain't with all that. I'm just Glow. I'm Glow. I'm hallelujah. I'm me. I'm representing me. She didn't fall for the okie doke. They may call her a country bumpkin, but she ain't stupid. She didn't get involved. She had life fun, and people want to get mad at Glorilla. She has every right to say, yeah, Joe. This is the election year. No different when Vice President Kamala Harris' husband, Doug, that brother had brought his phone, record these black women, one or two whites was in the crowd. He went somewhere, and they were so happy. Oh, Doug, we love Kamala Harris. They were so excited. This is pandering year. No different when President Joe Biden was sitting down with a black family and they was eating chicken. Chick-fil-A. All right, when they was eating some chicken, and Joe Biden, he was struggling to open up the food. You had a father, his two sons, they eat with the president. I thought it was powerful because it showed that Joe Biden can be somewhat relatable. But me being a conscious brother, don't just sit in my house eating chicken. And I need that father to be asking Joe Biden questions. What are you going to do to bring down the high the incarceration rate for black men in America? Why didn't you deregulate marijuana? Because that's affecting people that look like me and my two black sons. But the father was too busy eating chicken. So any black folks that's listening to this broadcast, do not be bought by a photo op. Anytime people of power sit in your home and eat chicken, you better ask them the real questions. If you're not that smart, get your phone or get somebody on the phone and say, Brother Wiley, what should I ask the president of the United States? I got a 10-minute dinner date with the president, and I can guarantee you I can write you down 10 bullet points that you can ask the president of the United States of America. Because since they want to pander, we're going to ask the president a question about A, B, C, D, etc. I just got to say that. So back to Brother Tyrese, what you did was ignorant. Then you said, I didn't even know that transgenders had a day like that. Shut up. Of course you didn't know. Last time I checked, you're not trans. It don't interest you. But the only reason why you bringing it up because you wanted to be on the Shade Room. You wanted to be on Ball Alert. You knew it was going to be a slow news day. So out of the ordinary, you want to get up there and you ran to your live and you had less than 400 people in your live. You know why you had them less people? Because you went on that crying, being a beta, being weak, snotting all on the screen. You wanted black urban sites to post you because you was getting dragged because you was taking up for Diddy. You was taking up for them freak offs. You was taking up for them pink cocoa bags. And then talking about, I just want to say, I'm just saying I am showing grace to Diddy kids. Well, some of the kids look like they was a part of the freak-offs. So get somewhere and have several seats. You got dragged. People start labeling you a pedo defender. And now, come on, You want to go against the trans community. Have several seats, sir. Respectfully, you out of order. And it take a man with glasses on, with a champion shirt that is clean. I may say so myself. Oh, I'm fresh and I'm clean. And I'm slimming down. Ha! It take a man to put another man in his place. And I'm calling you up to call you out like my sister Monique and daddy will say on Instagram. And we praying for Monique because she had some thyroids in her neck. It wasn't just fat. So we praying that everything in there, that it comes out and that it heal her body completely, down from the crown of her head down to her feet. Now, Tyrese, I tagged you on Instagram. Now, my followers, because I told, and I'm telling them, we got 126 people. Make sure y'all like the video right now. 126 people that are listening to this broadcast right now from around the world, all over the world. People are listening to this video. And I need 5, 10, 80 producers to bombard Tyrese DM and to send Tyrese this video. I need Queen to send the video. Pretty Handsome, send it. Love Maria, Latavia, Quiet Storm, Lee, Brand New, Latavia, Donna, Lee, Crystal, Paul, Say It Ain't So, Aaliyah, Proud of Me, the Wendy Williams caller, the producers, the B&B squad, Hollywood executives, the Bay squad. Everybody need to be sending this to Tyrese. The Charlotte, Flower Child, Beautiful Child, and whatever the F else. You got a long name, so you definitely send that to Tyrese. And send me a donation for reading that long name. Jada, that's on X, out there in Houston, that want to get a job over here at the Wiley Show. You didn't see that to Tyrese? You look good. Put on your best wig. Put on 3 shades of makeup. He'll do it. I just want y'all to like the video because we live. Y'all know how it operates. Y'all got to like, and share. Okay? Pretty text me, said, "A live on Easter. I love you so much. Thanks for the Easter tree." Okay, I thank you because again, I was asleep. And before, Tyrese, let me tell you why I'm talking about you today, player. If you don't mind. The reason why I am talking about you on this broadcast, I was minding my own business. I was minding my own business and y'all's too. And I got up, went to the gym, and I saw this, and I said, okay. But I said, I'm going to take a break because it's Easter, people eating turkey with their family, macaroni and cheese, getting cholesterol. I went to Walmart. I went to the gym, worked out, went to Walmart, went and shopped, got me some items, stocked my refrigerator up because my job said they ain't no longer giving out free breakfast and lunch no more. So we got to buy our own food. So I went and stocked up my refrigerator, got some, drinks to drink, so a little Gatorade, some desserts, so I could eat a full quarter. Brought me some breakfast so I could make my own eggs and make my own bacon. Did all that, worked out, took a shower, came home, put on my groceries. I was listening to an artist because a producer sent me an artist that I should be listening to that she wanted me to bring on my show. This lady is called Sheila B. Sexy Jackson. Sheila B. Sexy SEXI Jackson. And so I was listening to this woman's music. I'm like, because my producer, somebody sent to me. I said, okay. I told my team, okay, let me listen to it now while I'm cleaning up and everything. And one of my records, I love 2 songs that woman, I love about 3 songs. But How Do You Want It? I'm in Love with a Married Man. please don't play no games. I'm in love with a married man. And then she did like a remix. So I love the song. But nevertheless, I said, okay, she did better streams than my former favorite celebrity. So I said, okay, let me listen to her. I said, oh, this lady is nice. Like okay. Like a 40-year-old sexy red. Okay. So I listened to her music and I said, all right. Then I eat. Then I go to Stars. I went to Stars and I saw this show that was featuring this Mexican family or Latino family. And I want to get the name of the show. If y'all don't mind me getting the name of the show, I forgot the name of the show that quick, but it comes on Stars. It comes on Stars. It's a Mexican family, and the mama was gay, was married to a woman, and the daughter didn't know, and she's gay, and she had a bar, and she passed away, and now the family is trying to sell with one of the oldest daughter trying to sell everything. So I was watching that on Stars. I think I'm on episode 2 or 3, but in episode 1, if y'all know the name, Google it really quickly. The youngest daughter, they were at the funeral at the repast, and so her ex-boyfriend, childhood ex-boyfriend or whatever, he showed up with a new woman. So long story short, in this series, I'm just watching because it just popped on after I got through watching something else on Stars. I said, what is this? So then she went downstairs and they were talking or whatever. And next thing I know, this man, while his fiance is upstairs, he eating this girl box. Eating this woman's box. Eating her box on the stairs. He dropped the broom, okay? And he was eating the woman's box. Then he proceeded to go, get it in with her. He was tapping it on the staircase in the basement. I said, wait a minute. I didn't know Mexican people get down like that. But then again, I had to wake up and say, hey, Mexican people have the most, they're the highest. I mean, they're growing in numbers very, very high across the world, especially in America. I mean, getting it in on the staircase. And she didn't even know that the guy that their mom was married to a woman because she just thought it was just roommate. So I'm really, really enjoying this show. Then there's one Mexican woman, or she speaks Spanish, right? Their neighborhood is getting gentrified. So she's an activist and she's telling the white people to get out of her neighborhood. So she's spray painting stuff. She's blogging, cussing them out on her laptop, on her YouTube blog. I'm like, this show is really, it just reeled me in. I was watching. I was intrigued, like all over. Like the show was really good. And then, like I said, the oldest daughter in the broadcast, she's gay too. So she was getting in with her woman. I don't know the girl. And then she proceeded to take off her undergarment, and she proceeded to stand up over her woman and got on the woman's face, and the woman started to eat that was on her face. Talk back to me in this chat. So I was real near, and once I relieved myself, I had a good old sleep. And so once I went to sleep, I slept because I literally got in the house and blah, 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 and I ate some fish and everything out the box, and literally saw fish, eating fish, and I went to sleep around like 6:30 p.m. I was knocked out. I slept so good, bought some new fitted sheets because my old sheets got messed up by Ted Lee from Chasing Dallas. And I had to buy some new sheet. Black stuff on the sheet was mad, and I'm trying to get the black stuff off, and I destroyed my sheets. So I had to go get some new fitted sheets. So make sure y'all donate to replenish my accounts. I had to get some new fitted sheets from Walmart. Did that, took a shower, I oiled up, and I went to sleep. And I said, ooh, I'm energized. I'm up. So what should I do? I cleaned the house up. I got stuff in the laundry. I ate me some food, some dinner. What else better to do but to go live and wake up these YouTube streets? So I said, I'm going to give the audience a treat. because Lil Maria, she DM'd me, said, Wiley, you going live? I said, no, it's Easter. I'm taking a day off. I went to sleep. But when I woke up, it was something on the inside of me, Renetti, godly, goodly. And I said, I got to entertain the audience. And I got up. And see, when I did that, it felt good, because when you own your own show and you have the authority to go live whenever you feel like going live, because we don't delete no videos over here. We create new live videos, but we will give you some replays. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because I own it. We ain't doing no massive deletion suite trying to be accepted with mainstream media, and on the platform mainstream media is only temporary. They're about to delete it really soon. On this show, we are happy. We creating, entertaining thousands. And we ain't out there crying on our YouTube channel like Tyrese for a click of the view. We ain't out there crying about women in our life, fake tears to go viral. We ain't out there doing photo ops for the gym. If either say amen or ouch. Say amen or ouch. We ain't out there trying to go to the gym, show our little chicken arms for a photo op with a photographer and cameras, trying to keep up with Wiley. You ain't gonna be able to keep up with Wiley. Mentally, I'm stronger. Ain't gonna be able to keep up. No. So, because we in the gym, sweating, growing authentically. Then people that say they don't like us, come on, people, talk back to me in the chat. Looking at what we post. Now they in the gym with camera people. I said, look at that enemy. That enemy will come in and try to disrupt you, and I got to rebuke that foolishness. You do all this trying to keep up with Wiley, but yet want to private all your YouTube videos. But don't worry, we on a massive campaign to get them eyeballs and ears over here at the Wiley Show. Every time they tweet something over there, we gonna get that information. We reach out to them, and we are asking them, begging them, come on over to the Wiley Show where you are welcome. We all up through X. I said, give me them people information. I reached out to a brother today. He said, this is bad. Why are you doing this? I said, don't worry about that. With another man, privatization is another man public growth. I take you and guarantee you're going to be entertained. You're going to forget all about veneers. You're going to forget about it. You're going to get realness. It's going to be so real, you're going to be hooked. Come on over here. Don't worry about that. Let them be over there, because they're going to be back begging you to come back and watch them. I give it about 6 months. 6 months. That's going to be gone, and they're going to be begging you with 55 videos a day, because that check going to get low. Excuse me 1 minute. The spirit is leading me to go here. I don't understand if you don't want to hear this. I don't care. Go home. Go to sleep. I'm up. Bring him on the screen here. So I was watching really quickly. I was watching this Instagram page called Gay News, Gay Magazine, Gaye. So Funky Dineva and T.S. Madison came to Funky Dineva brunch in Florida. And Gay Magazine, they called Gay Magazine to come. They like the gay TMZ, and I ain't mad at it. I hope it's owned by black folks. I'm going to see who that real owner is. Hope it's owned by black folks. If it ain't, they're going to be dragged tomorrow. But they interviewed Funky Dineva, and they asked Funky Dineva, why did do he regret leaving Fox Soul? And he said the reason why he left, because he wasn't appreciated financially. They wanted me to do more, right? And then he lied and said social media boosted up like it was a beef. This is why Gay Magazine, that reporter that did that, you need to be fired. you queen, you dusty queen, you didn't do your job. Because if I was representing being a guest correspondent of Gay Magazine, I'd have said, sir, with all due respect, fucking Anita, you did drag Claudia. You talked about Claudia. You said that Fox Soul is a sinking ship. What's your thoughts on that? It wasn't the online drama. It was you that was criticizing Fox Soul. You ran with the narrative that you're leaving Fox Soul, and you trashed the people on Fox Soul. And you said, quote, I don't have a problem with Flame Monroe. I got a problem with Claudia. I would have asked you them questions. And see, this is why these so-called media folks are weak, lazy journalists. How you couldn't go back to the T? The T is on the internet. And bring that to that brother, because he tried to put it on us that we call this beef between him and Fox Soul. There was you that caused that beef with Fox Soul. We didn't know it was beef. Turkey or beef. We didn't know none of that. We only was aware of it because of your words, sir, Funky. I would have got so deep outside. He wouldn't answer my question. He'd have kept walking. And then T.S. Madison was talking about, she was rapping, Kaya Records and being shady. I would have had a whole lot of questions about her, and I would have brought Oliver on the outside. See, Oliver, you know why I don't F with you, and I'm on my way to Atlanta, and I'm going to address you publicly, because I ain't weak at all with no security. I'm going to look at you dead in your face with that gray vacuum cleaner dirt on your head. And I said, you stop being weak. When you took that picture, Oliver Twist, with T.S. Madison, I'm through with you, because you weak, brother. This is why you are always getting robbed. Stop being weak. I would have came to you with my camera, with the Wiley Show team. Sir, so is it all good now? You do know, did T.S. Madison give you a check for you help write that song for Renaissance? Did you recently hear that T.S. Madison threw shade on her new show and said that you got one of her laptops and she want it back? That she want all her hardware gear back? Do you care to comment? She said it right there with her co-host, Craig the writer. They got a new podcast called Fag Talk, and they going on tour. What is your thoughts, brother? Talk back to me in this chat. I'm not playing no game with you all. And then, Love Maria, you said Oliver was on the circle, but did he get paid Benjamins? Did he get paid? I don't care if you was on the circle, on the rectangle, on the square show. Did you get paid fairly? There's plenty people on plenty shows. Monique was on the greatest show ever on television called The Parkers, and she didn't get paid fairly. She's fighting court right now for her just due. And they still making money, and told Monique and her team, we didn't make that much money with The Parkers. And that's the problem with Oliver. He like to brag about things. I don't want to brag. I want to brag when it's really bringing me money. Ain't nothing wrong with bragging. Let me correct that. Nothing wrong with that. Talk about your accolade. But it take a time out. Okay, when this money gonna come in? Because last time I checked, you can't be just bragging about you did something if you ain't getting the check. Talk back to me in this chat. I don't play this game with that phony, fake stuff. They too fake and phony. You hugging T.S. Madison, guess what? She still get them fake residuals. And Oliver, you still living in your third floor, one room apartment with green grass on the wall. Because you ain't got no backbone. You got to show a standard that you ain't going to be used no more. You got to stand on up. Sometimes you got to stand on up to your own community. If you can't stand up to your own community, you ain't going to make it with the white community. Talk back to me in the chat. So again, I saw it and I'm calling them people out to call them up. And personally, I think T.S. Madison is upset because Kaya still getting more views than her. The woman ain't got no African on no computer. She ain't got no co-host that's a struggling author that's using T.S. Madison for clout to sell books. And Kaya keep all her money. Every check she got, she dominate. I get more DMs when Kaya is live than when T.S. Madison trying to be the next Carlos King. Or when T.S. Madison do an X, Y, and Z. The people, especially black biological women, they watch Kaya more than they watch T.S. Madison and Craig. Don't nobody want to see two bottoms up there trying to do a podcast and they weak and they turn their back against Larry Reed pedo ways. You want to have a talk, but then you didn't call out Larry Reed for violating Levante? How can you try to talk about Diddy, T.S. Madison, when you didn't even talk about your own person in your community? Larry Reed, shut up with your foolish self. You didn't even talk about the allegations of Larry when he violated Levante, when he infected his lover allegedly from Trinidad with 3 letters in his blood. And just know they call it the Cardi B bumps. That's what they call it. I didn't call it that, but you gotta get into the bar. Whew. So that's how that is. And he left. He got lazy and everything else. And I'm praying that people that say that Wiley ain't making no sense will watch that interview. They on the same plantation, getting worse treatment. I just got some in my DM about the treatment that they facing there. Bad treatment. They thought the green was green on the other side. It ain't. You have more power on your own platform. People gonna criticize your personality. But you said you want to run there. You fool. Now go on run there. You're gonna come back here, cry. Shut up. Don't even speak. Get your... Shut up. Don't speak. I want to be free on Fox. You ain't free. You a slave. Shut up. Don't speak. Don't you utter nothing. I didn't even know Wiley had that many videos. Who? Yes, I got them. And I'm still going to play them. I own it. All that foolish, stupid talk you talking. Don't nobody want to hear them stupid story time. Shut up. We don't want to hear that. Them stupid tears. Give us a real story time when you painted your man on the first day. Give us that story time. We want to know about the women in my life. Shut up. You dragged the women in your life. You stole your mama credit card. You didn't care about the women in your life. You still don't. You want to be one, but you don't care about the women in your life. You still got mommy issues. You ain't over that. Shut up. Stop that line. You and your light-skinned mama got problems you ain't ready to solve yet. Tell the people the real deal. Or don't even mention it. Keep suffering. It ain't about the economics. Don't bring that up. I ain't studying the economics piece right there. I'm talking about emotional. What does it profit you to be good financially and mentally? You drain. You depress. That don't mean nothing that you got a good credit score if you can't enjoy it. You sad, insecure. You are insecure, veneer wearing bottom, a drunken bottom, in the words of Prada B. That's what you are. A veneer, twisted spinal cord, drunken bottom. Now, I ain't gonna say nobody's name here. Just say amen or say ouch. In the words of the queen, Megan Thee Stallion, a hit dog will holler. He would just holler with 2 earrings and cocoa breath and liquor and a twisted spinal cord and a struggle twerk. That type of dog will holler. I ain't gonna say no name. So either say amen or say ouch. So they can't say, well, he got this person name in the shut up. I'm trying to help you. Come on over to the Wiley Show. Get you some real entertainment. We ain't fake. We ain't trying to be Hollywood. Now, we'll dress better. There's nothing wrong with dressing better. But, baby, I'm still going to be me. Now, wait, Jada, I got to say this, Jada, because you're the only one on X. Shabbat high. There's nothing wrong with success. There's nothing wrong with being successful. But we're not talking about success. We're talking about arrogance. We're talking about being nasty. We're talking about trying to talk down to people that you think that you better of. That is what we're talking about. Give a damn about you so-called successful. It's about your nasty, stinking attitude that needs to be dushed. It needs to be cleaned out like that rectum. I'm talking about that. Talking about that attitude is too nasty and filthy. And it's fake. You ain't that advanced in Hollywood still concerned about what Wiley say. There's 22 viewers on X. Send that on over there. You try to be like Nicki. You see how that did. Only thing Nicki got was a sold-out tour in debt and a SO boyfriend, husband. That's what Nicki got. That's all what Nicki Minaj got. A sold-out tour that she got to pay the loan sharks and a SO ankle bracelet baby daddy. That's the only thing she got. Anybody study what you talk about? Why would I leave freedom to go be a slave? You one of them type of slaves that get their freedom papers. I just want to go back to master. I didn't have to worry about cooking my own food. That's what we grow. Whatever we grow, we eat, even though we eat the slop. But master made sure we ate 3 meals a day. Some folks are like that. Now, I ain't going to say no name. Don't want nobody get offended. If you do, I don't care. Have several seats and learn something. Who that hit me up on Jack? Give me 1 second. Y'all don't mind I try to connect with my Jack date. Hey, Yaba Shatai. You don't mind that I'm unbought and unbossed. I think that's how that goes. Is that Shirley Chisholm book? Don't get it twisted. I love watching Wiley while I reset for my Monday. Well, while y'all reset for your Monday, some of y'all got paid and you spent all that money. Make sure you spend some money here. I should be sending some cash apps. I should be sending some Zelles. Now, y'all should give. Hold on. Wait a minute. We ain't going to continue this show till I see about 3 donations. I end it. Unbought and unbossed. Some of y'all work too much, ain't hardly sending nothing. And Miss Anderson, you exempt. You know, you send more, but you can always send more. Send more. You ain't have to worry about buying me no bottles. Send me the cash. I don't own too much like no bottles. What I need a bottom for? You in a relationship. Now, if you weren't in a relationship, then we can have multiple bottles. Hey, no diddy. I'm ready. We need 3 donations. You don't need a bottle, you want a bottom. Well, women can be bottoms too. Come on now. Uh-oh. Women can be bottoms too. Uh-oh. See, they just think when I say bottom, I'm just talking about men. Women can be bottoms too. Sugar Avery was a bottom. Wait a minute. Or was that Shirley? She was a bottom. Yeah, he get on top of me and he do his business. Sister Anderson, what does that mean? That mean when she said he get on top of me and do his business, and I have to say amen. That means she was what? A bottom. If Mr. was on top, that means Miss Seeley was on the bottom. Right, Quiet Storm? Come on, women can be bottoms too. Y'all ain't ready for that type of teaching. You ain't ready for that type of teaching. But women can be bottoms too. Women can. Thank you for the donations. Women can be bottoms too. You ain't like that. They said he really connecting with his Jack date. You can do that when you're single. I don't care if I was in a relationship. No, you can do that when you're single. My husband is in Houston. So right now I'm single. If you don't mind, I said my husband, Nate 702, is in Houston. So right now that make me what? Single. Oh, you gonna send me $10 for lunch? They ain't feeding me no more. They told us no more free lunch, no more free breakfast, and that's one of the reasons what made me stay. So it look like tomorrow I got to put my 2-week notice in. I got to put it in. I'm gonna have it already typed up. I have went to not all these, Walmart. Give me a second, people. And I brought me an envelope, a box of envelopes. Now I don't want to have to put my 2-week notice in, but it got green on. Okay. I bought my box of envelopes, and I'm gonna write out my resignation letter because I don't appreciate that we was eating breakfast and lunch. I don't make nothing but $13.50. I signed up for that. But one thing that was grateful, that at least you was feeding my belly. And so I wonder would I have to send my resignation letter. I don't want to have to send my resignation letter. But $13.50. But I signed up for that, Sister Anderson. But one thing that I love that you told, we do feed the staff. I said, okay, cool. I ain't got to worry about buying stuff every day. Okay. So again, I made $13.50, and I signed up for that. Now it's been some issues. I get it. Because in this industry, in Texas, this is one of the greatest states for businesses. Not for employees. But for businesses, you could really dominate in Texas. But it's $13.50. Okay. $13.50. $13.50. I signed up for that. And the reason why I signed up for that is because I like having multiple streams of income. That's it. And I'm there for a reason. I need my Vegas money. I need some more Vegas spending money. So you guys, I'm not complaining, but I did feel some type of way. I'm not going to be eating no more free breakfast and lunch. So what did I do? I went to Walmart today, bought me some Gatorades, brought me my own bacon, bought me some eggs, bought me some chicken wings because it was about $9, $10 at Walmart today. Bought me some chicken drumsticks. I said, okay, I cook my own lunch because I'm going to eat because I got to eat because I'm working out. So I got extra. Look at Jada. Jada said I had already said $20 for lunch. Look at that. And then somebody already said $40 today for lunch. Look at that. Y'all going to feed me for lunch. And we going to ask our people. Because I don't mind working. Hey. I don't mind doing what I got to do because working is good. It's, hey, Wiley, hey, Chad. So that your second job, they could have gave me 60. They could have gave me 16. But the thing is, I don't blame my I cannot blame my supervisor because he's an employee like I'm an employee, right? He's the supervisor employee, but still, keyword employee. He's not the owner. He don't give the pay rates. The ownership give the pay rates. So I do it because I know what I do it for. I like location. I like that I can run. I like that I can walk. I like that I don't have to be a full-time, caregiver because it's challenging doing that type of work. So I do it in another type of way. But also I entertain. The schedule is great that I can still entertain after 3 p.m. every day if I wanted to. It's great. But, companies, they was feeding, doing fine all this time. Now when I start, the dinner and lunch stop. No more. And they said, you can still eat, but whatever left, you can have. But I already got another job. I can just go there and pick up. I keep one in the bush. Okay? I keep one I keep a backup with the backup. Because I was at my backup job yesterday. Story time. So I was in the car with this beautiful white man. And this white man was my Uber driver. Uber driver, right? And he was taking me to work. And I'm putting on the Wiley show. He's white, good looking. When you good looking, I got to entertain you. Now, if you kind of ugly, I'm going to pretend like I'm listening to Unball and Unboss on my headphone. But you ugly. I don't want to talk to you. But he was a good looking white man. So I'm talking, and I said, this is what I talk about. I said, 9 out of 10, he know about some Trump. Just by looking at him. He looked like he knows something about Trump. So I start talking about, he started laughing. He said, man, this is what you talk about on your show. I'm going to have to subscribe. I'm going to have to subscribe. And he subscribed. He followed me on IG. We was on Station Head. It was an amazing thing because you got to know how to network. This is no longer do you got a business card. It's about do you got social media pages. Now, there's nothing wrong with having business cards because you could be in certain spaces. They just want business card. But when you're talking to like viewers, baby, hey, what's your IG? I gave him IG and I moved on and went to work. Y'all can have the leftovers, the scraps. Yeah, they told me that in the meeting. Now, mind you, the meeting disrupted my time of working because I got to make sure everything is folded, the laundry return. I got to make sure the housekeeping area, everything is clean. I make sure I do my job. I don't be on my phone. You know you do your job when your battery is not dead in your phone. That's because I'm not on my phone. I'm doing my job. I only get on my phone when I'm on a break. So, and I rarely get to I take my break, but I make sure my work is done. I sit down and I eat for 30 minutes. It may be 30 minutes during the first couple of hours or later on in the afternoon. So, but this type of the time we had a staff meeting, right? And this particular staff meeting is not the typical staff meeting I'm used to going to. I'm used to going to a staff meeting. It's about 20 minutes. This staff meeting it lasted almost an hour. I said, okay. And I still had about a couple of loads to return, because the reason why I was hired, because when people were doing the laundry, they wasn't returning these people laundry correctly. So when I came in, we resolved most of all of that, where we wash, clean, return. And I do it the same day because it's best to do it the same day so nothing get lost in translation. Nothing get lost. You return it. So I have a good formula, good system, everything's good, but the meeting drove me off. And so I still return, and I wasn't looking at my phone. By the time I looked at my phone, was about after 4 o'clock. I supposed to clock out at 3:30 because my supervisor said this company, they don't do no overtime. You got to get permission from the supervisor. So I didn't look into the phone. I didn't know it. I'm just working. But yet he was still giving me other things to do. So I'm like, okay, I'm assuming that you already gave me the okay to stay over because you gave me extra things to do to get done at 3, to give me extra things to do. So I'm doing all what you told me to do. And it was about 4. So I'm texting because I communicate in text. I put everything in writing that I do in text, everything. I'm a writing girl. So I text everything. You're not supposed to stay over, blah, blah, blah. And I texted something professional. I ain't gonna get into what I texted, very professional. Okay. So he said, we gonna have a meeting on Monday. I say, cool. Thank you, sir. I'm looking forward to the meeting on Monday. It's a whole lot of meetings. But getting paid $13.50, we doing a lot of meetings. I don't see the need for it, but okay. I just hope this meeting ain't no 1 hour. Because again, can we meet me while I'm working and we can okay. But respectfully. Respectfully. So thank God, you guys, it's a good vibe. I talk about it because this is really, really good that you have options. Options. Hope they didn't make you clock out for that. No, we get paid for the meeting. So we get paid. We got paid for the meeting, and so I still have work to complete. And so they're saying, no, this is Texas. Like Illinois, they didn't really care about well, I did caregiver stuff, so they don't really care about caregiver stuff like overtime because they need the people. So but yeah, that's how that was. But nevertheless, we did, and we was able to have a good time, and I was able to, and that's why I enjoyed Nate, because I was going through a lot at work, and we had just a ball later on that night. So it's been like a vibe, and it's good now. All right. So we're gonna get to our last topic of the day. Ooh, we got to get into Offset and Chloe Bailey. So Offset and Chloe, y'all know they did a song. Do it. What was the song that they did together? On his new album, Offset had Chloe on the album, and they performed their song together. And when they performed their song together, Offset in the video, Princess Cut, they performed it live. Chloe had her hand on his leg, and it looked like Offset was his ping was risen. So Barty Gang proceeded to drag Chole. They called her everything but a child of God, a Beyonce wannabe that ain't gonna never happen. She's a struggling artist. Keep your hand off a married man. Then you had other people, the Barbs, just to get back at Cardi, were saying that they are performers. Like, get over it. And then the Barbs were being shady. They were saying, I guess Cardi B ain't the only one that can turn on Offset. Chole can turn him on as well. So I'm in the chat and I'm like, wow. But my thing is, Chole is a performer. So is Offset. Your job is to perform. Your job is to get it in. Your job is to make sure he's turned on so the audience can be turned on to buy Princess Cut. Now, Chole, because she is a Beyonce clone, she know if I put my hand on his leg, it's going to get everybody talking. Because let's be clear, Chole make the record. When you hear her singing part, it's the best. When you see Offset, but when you hear Chole, you know she's on the record. It stands out. So in order for her to get some much needed publicity, because ain't nobody streaming her stuff, this lady just got off on a small venue tour before JT. So ain't nobody really checking for her. So in order to get this much needed publicity, I'm gonna put my leg on this dark-skinned man with these dreads. She already gave her yoni up to Quavo when they did a gospel movie together on Peacock. They did a whole praise and worship gospel movie. And then when they said cut, she went in Quavo trailer, allegedly, and gave Quavo that good old Chloe Bailey yoni. She rolled his face on Peacock. It was a rumor that Chloe and Quavo was together because they met on the movie. They were screwing. And you know Offset, he is tired of living in Quavo's shadow. So what did he do? He get Chloe to do a record, and he going to tap that. I'm just hearing it, Quavo in the streets. I mean, Offset. Now, Offset, don't you get offended. Save your little nasty little lawsuit, because you have a track record of sticking your peen in women. Chloe is your type. She thick. She's younger. She speak good English. She write her own record. Everybody can't say that. When she write a record, it just have her name on it. It don't have 55 people on it. Oh, just say amen or say ouch. So it won't surprise me if you stuck that Offset sausage inside of that Chloe Bailey warm, sweet yoni. Let's be clear. So to all the Cardi B fans, I think y'all need to shut up, because Offset have always been off cheat. He have always been a cheater. When Tasha K exposed him, he have always been there. He never has been faithful to Cardi B. He never been faithful to his baby mamas. Never. He's not a committed man. This man is a rapper, celebrity, and he loved to get it in. He is what I call a hoish man. Ain't nothing like him. He is off cheat. Off cheat, can't keep his sausage just to wick Cardi B on it. He got to give it to everybody else. And he knows this. Cardi knows this. Cardi just settled because she loved black men with dreads. It make her look good. But she got to share that man with everybody else. They even said when he was at Kai Cenat's show, He was out there screwing upstairs in that mansion. You know that show with that dirty stain on the carpet? You know that show when them filthy, dirty men be standing on that stinking chair that Nicki Minaj was sitting on? He got up there, he screwed his cousin, which was his publicist. That's what they said on the internet, allegedly. Don't get mad at me, get mad at the internet. You low down, dirty hussy. Don't get mad at me, get mad at the internet, you heifer. So, in my clothes, Offset should just divorce Cardi B. Now, I'm a little jealous. I'm jealous because I would want to screw Chloe, but I got to settle for EBT Shaquita. I got to settle for Pookie and Ray Ray with dirty fingernails. I cannot wait to be wealthy with dreads and wear expensive jewelry, clean white teeth, so I can be screwing people like Chloe Bailey and her sister. But because right now I am economically not at the level yet, so I temporarily have to screw EBT Section A recipients. But in the next 6 to 8 months, my economical status is going to change for the greater. And when it changes, I will be able to do it, eat it with the Chloes, hell, with the Cardi B's, with the Nickies, with the Gabrielle Unions. Okay? Claudia, Nick at Night, Lovely T, Tasha K. Especially Neat. Downer Ross wig, I want to get out. I want to tap that. You know, she in New York. In the projects, gotta tap that. She ain't gonna be smell like fish no more. She gonna go to the dermatologist. They gonna clean up that fishy smell. And she gonna be wearing some better wigs. And definitely I'm going to Houston to see Milagro. I'm gonna have a good old professional driver so she can roll up her blunts in the back seat and she could be able to smoke and we could be able to eat crab legs and we could get it in on the back seat. Thank you all so very much for watching the Wiley Show. Little black boy, you're beautiful. Little black girl, you are enough. When times get hard, always remember to put God first. Do not forget the countdown of Vegas have started. In less than 30 some odd days, I will be in the flesh in Vegas on April the 26th through the 28th with Couture Bay, a colleague, a sister, a friend, and one of the co-hosts of Two Man and a Lady. We are doing a meet and greet for our audience, and we just linking up in Vegas, having a good time, drinking, gambling, dancing, smoking. It's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see you there. We thank you all for y'all amazing support. This have been a great show. If you want to go to Vegas, please do book your room, book your flights, get in the car, get on the Greyhound, get on the Megabus, get on the train. If for more information, you can always WileyShowProduction@gmail.com. Don't hit me up unless you're coming. When you're there, just email me or call me or text, hey, Wiley, I'm here. I want to see you. 972-674-9462. Text me and call me when you're there. Text me and call me when you're there. When you pull up to Palace Station Hotel, you in the lobby, say, hey, Wiley, I'm 30 minutes and I get. Don't just pull up. Let me know you coming so I can be prepared, freshen up, so I can look good because I might be humping. I'm just letting you know. I'm a man, single man. I'm wild. So don't just pull up on me. Let me know. Say, hey, Wiley, I want to come and see you. All right. You got to give me time to freshen up, a little shit up, because I might not be at the Palisades at that time. All right? So hit me up. Make sure y'all, now people that's in Vegas, y'all should already call off. You should already have some vacation time. You've been on for a year. Don't let me come there and you can't show up. You couldn't find a babysitter. Well, bring your kids. Bring them to the Palisades. We can eat at a restaurant. Bring them. If you want to meet Wiley, you can bring your kids to meet me. We can eat dinner. Come on. We have lunch. Bring them. You just can't come out to the club and stuff like that because you ain't got no babysitter. You can bring your kids, stuff like that. Come on. And me and you can take a picture. You can have your moment with the Wiley Show. All right. You know, when we do our dope stuff, you know, you can't do it because you got kids. But for those that don't want to hang out, there you go. All right. Woo! Wasn't this a good show? Now, you know, we got to beg for some money. Where's the Zales at? Where my Zale people? I need to see some Zales. Okay. Y'all have been donating. Ooh, y'all have been donating. Okay. Producers, y'all want me to eat. Y'all want me to eat this week. Ooh, we really gonna have our refrigerator stocked up for some good old lunch. Was it amazing? Oh yeah, you did send yours via Zelle. I see it. Thank you, sis. I see it. Oh, let me take my glasses off. I see. I had to put my glasses on for today. I see it. Thank you, sis. In the words of thank you. This have been amazing. Okay. Ooh, you did see your Zelle, honey. I see it. Shabbatana Bahai. You said that. Okay. Can we get a story time? Your niece? Oh, well. So I'm glad you brought up my nieces. Y'all sit on down. We ain't done yet. So my nieces, one of my nieces have followed me on Snapchat. And she just be calling me on Snapchat. Whatever I'm doing, if I'm at work, if I'm doing a show, I will stop it. I got to answer that when my niece calls because I don't know what she calling for or whatever. I'm going to answer. You know what I'm saying? And my other niece, she's getting older, so now she can have conversations. So I get on the phone with them. We talk on the phone. I was at the gym today, and my niece called. Both of my nieces had called me on Snapchat. I stopped what I was doing to talk with them in the locker room. And we were talking. It was fun. Then I talked to my mama. She's sweating, cooking, the same old same. I'm talking to my nieces. They were telling me about their day. And it was just a beautiful conversation. Then I took a screenshot of that because I wanted to have it for my files of these moments, so I could really tell her when she get older how sweet she was. Just when she get older and she be trying to be about that life. So I was sending my niece pictures when she was younger, because on Snapchat I have all of these old photos back in 2016. My oldest niece, my baby sister, oldest child, our relationship is a different type of vibe because she was born. I was there when she was born, and when I was going through my mental health issues, she was just a baby. Now she's 7, 8. I think she's about 7, about to be 8 years old. So about almost 8 years. That's how much growth I had in my mental health. So it's just amazing just talking with her, talking to my other baby niece. I love her. And I feel like now that they're getting older, it's like a better relationship. Like they're getting out of that. And then of course I'm distant. I'm the distant uncle, and we have a better, in which I love this relationship. So my sister called, and I was like, and I can kiki with my sister, and I ain't gonna get into the conversation that we be at. we go there, the type of stuff that I'll be talking about. I was like, why don't y'all come like during the summer? Y'all come for a weekend or a couple of days. So the girls, you bring the girls, and we all hang out and have a vibe. And bring my mama too. Why she can't come to Texas and we all have a vibe and we come out, we party, and I'm to take the kids to Six Flags and take them, to the zoo and just let them have fun, get them and let them see stuff out just outside of Chicago. Like this world is bigger, and that's like one of my goals for all of my nieces and nephews. And so I'm gonna be reaching out to more of my other siblings for their children, try to get their kids to come. Now some of them have a lot, so I will have to do like two at a time, two, three of them at a time, because it's a lot of them, because I don't have the space for about 8 kids, and it's only one of me. So I will have to wait. One thing with my brother kids, his kids is much older. They're some like 12, 13. So they're much older. So I can do a little bit more stuff with them versus the young girls. So I'm talking with them and everything of that. But I'm glad that they did run me up out of Chicago. They ran me back into my dream to show them that life is greater, is more than the United States, than Chicago. So for they can see that. So I think that, even for my sister, so she can see, because she loved the hood. So she can see, brother, we don't live in the hood no more. You know what I'm saying? Life is life is good, and it's only going to get better. And so we can hang out and stuff, so they can see it how it is. Because me personally, I don't think they should just be at one area. I think they should just, especially in the summer, I think summer vacation should be for the children, so they can have adventures, so they can go camping, so they can do things. And I know that costs money. But that's why it's a blessing when you do have a village, like uncles and aunts and that extended family. So I love that. And so I'm a part of the solution. And I'm want to definitely do that for the summer, like so they can hang out and have a good vibe, and we go out and we do stuff. And if I have to like break down my tables and computers and stuff, so they could just have a good time for a weekend, and then they can go back to Chicago after we. So it's just really good. Or they could come to Texas for a week. That will, like, literally, that would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? I have the type of jobs where I don't have to be like full time. I'm just here temporarily, like just by choice, but I could do everything per hour in, so I could work around their schedule, just to get them to come for a week, and it could just be amazing. Because I remember my grandfather, my father, um, his dad, we will go to his mom's home, and he lived in the basement, and he did not have any money. But one thing he did have, and we remember, is the time he spent. We will talk about our grandpa grandpa Ernest all day, years now. We're all adults. We're in our 30s. Some of my cousins but is almost in their 40s. And we talk about Grandpa Ernest all the time. Anytime we bring him up, it's nothing but just great memories. And I told my mom, she said, y'all really love going over there. And she asked us, well, what do y'all do over there? I said, we go outside, we go to the park over and over. And this used to make me sick, because we used to go to the park and we used to get on that tire, and then it used to twirl around. This to make me so sick. But my grandfather would make us sandwiches, and he would have great conversations. And I would the last conversation I remember in my childhood, or one of the conversations that stood out to me in my childhood, is that he talked with me and my brother, and he was talking about his life, you know what I'm saying? Don't do drugs and stuff like that. And we didn't know that he was on drugs. We didn't know any of that. Like, we heard about it, but we didn't. That was our grandfather, so he never did it around us. And he was a Vietnam vet, and etc. So we didn't know until we got older, but we never see any of that going on. But he told me and my brother, he was in the kitchen. I think he was making us grilled cheese. Something. He said, "Don't y'all ever do drugs." And I was like, "Oh, okay, granddaddy, like, where the grilled cheese at?" So, and he would just sit and talk to us, and we just had just an amazing conversation with our grandfather, and he would have a dog named Dollar, and we would take the dog, and he would just take us to the park, and we would just walk for hours and hours and hours, and it would be all the cousins. Shout out to my cousin Precious. Now, mind you, they're not my blood cousins because that's my stepfather's father, but he didn't treat me no different. I can really personally say that my grandfather, my he did not treat me no different. I felt like his grandson. He didn't treat me no. My cousins didn't treat me no. They treat me with love. And shout out to Precious. We used to play house, and it was like we just did kid stuff. But our great great grandmother, she didn't play. She recently just passed, maybe a couple of months ago. She lasts all the way up to her. I think she passed away in her hundreds. Like she was 100 and something, almost 100. I think she 1 or 2 years from 100. So she was very stern. We couldn't sit in her living. We never was able to stay in her living room. We never sat in her living room. We went to the basement. We could tell that she really didn't like us, that we were outside, but we didn't care. We wanted to see our grandma. And even our cousins that live with grandma, she would come downstairs and be with us. It was a vibe, baby. And then she was like, Precious, get upstairs. And she'd go upstairs, grandma go to sleep, and then she'd come right back downstairs. And we will have a ball in that basement. Like we had fun. I mean, he had toys in the bed. I could just the memories just it's just flowing. Just the memories. I remember the Cartoon Network and Scooby Doo. I just remember that we were just innocent children. Like we were just innocent. And I would be the last one, like kind of hold out before going to sleep, and then I would finally go to sleep, and we looking for it the next day just to go outside. It wasn't about Ubers, Lyft, get on. We couldn't afford not even get on the bus. We just enjoyed going outside, and we would run, and it was just amazing. Shout out to my grandfather. May he rest in peace. He's looking down on me. I know he is proud of what his grandson is doing, entertaining, dragging people, roasting and gagging. But I just remember, and I really got to see Precious. And I'm going to talk to my dad, and I'm going to see about her and try to bring her on the show and do a segment where we talk about our grandfather. And when he passed, we cry out of this world. We cried. All the kids, we was boo-hooing. We were hurt. All of us, we was hurt. This is our grandfather. He was the life of the party. He was just the life. He would make us like ice cream and like root beer. I just remember that he was just the life of the party. We were all hurt when he passed, and we cried. And this is something about my mother. My mother, my dad, he needs somebody to sing a song. Now, my uncle, he eulogized my grandfather because he didn't go to attend the church, but my uncle decided to eulogize him. I believe my uncle eulogized. No, I don't think he did. I forgot who eulogized. I was crying. I forgot. I think my uncle did. Could be my uncle or somebody else. No, somebody else did. My uncle eulogized my dad's mother, Grandma Carrie. He eulogized her. Okay, but my mother got up and she started singing. I said, that's my mama. She can sing. Now, I heard my mother like singing like church songs, but never like solo, like slow records. She got up there and she sang, and I was like, I stopped crying. Me and my brother, we stopped crying. We was amazed by my mother's like talent. I was shocked, and I said, Mom, why you didn't tell me that you can sing? You can really, really sing. Oh yeah, I really want to get out there and sing with you know your dances. I didn't know. Like mother can really, really sing. And now when I got older and I got into the YouTube act, I be saying, "Oh, you need to make a record. You need to make. I don't worry about no record. I'll do my real estate. Get about 55 units." I'm like, Ma, I'm not talking about getting no apartment building. I'm talking about you need to get into a studio. Because she can sing. Like it amazes me. And so my mother, she recently, like maybe a couple of months ago, was telling me how active she was in the church, being a district choir director, how she traveled around the country, being going to church events and directing a choir in the district, the state choirs, because at the time my uncle, when my mother attended church, the bishop, they joined like organization, like a church organization, right? Like Kojic, but it wasn't Church God in Christ. It was similar to Church God in Christ. And so they joined the True Church House of Prayer to All Nations. It was a Chicago. It was like Kojic. You know how they have multiple jurisdiction churches. So at that time, True Church House of Prayer to All Nations had a lot of churches at this time. And so the Chicago, one of the lead churches in Chicago was we call it May Street. It was on the south side of Chicago. So my mom was very active. I didn't know this because back when I was born, my mom was she was done with church. She wasn't a part of it. We only went to like today, since it was Easter, we'll be going to church today for Easter for the free stuff. And they won't see me and my mom, and will see us until Easter or Christmas. She was one of them type of Christians. So but yeah, she was very, very active. She just recently told me that. But thank you so very much for telling me to tell that story. Wow. No, it wasn't apostolic. It was all Pentecostal. I'm Pentecostal all day. Nothing against apostolic, but we were Pentecostal, baby. Holiness, 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 pure holiness. That is what it was, like pure holiness. Is what that's just in my background. Pentecostal, that's in my background. And my uncle is the pastor now. Like when the bishop, the founder of the church, when he passed, I was a baby. And then my uncle, he became the pastor because they was a part of True Church House of Prayer to All Nations. The bishop, he installed my uncle as the pastor of the church because it was controversial at the time. This is doing oil testimony or oil history, as they would say. They didn't know who the pastor would be. If the church was packed, they didn't know. My mom went, it was packed because the bishop died. Bishop H.E. Cohill, he passed away. They didn't know who the pastor was going to be. And the church was in debt. They didn't have no money. So the bishop come, the head bishop of True Church House of Prayer to All Nations, said, let's give me 2 chairs. Everybody looked. Okay. From people. Again, I was a baby. I wasn't there. If I was there, I don't remember. I was a baby. So they put the 2 chairs up. He said, give me Elder Cartwright and his wife. Y'all come up here and sit in these chairs. He said, God, now I don't like to get disrupted during my breakfast, but God told me to install you as the pastor of True Church and make your wife the first lady. People were shocked because my uncle was controversial, like he still is today. The people didn't really like Pastor Cartwright because he was against women preachers. Everything that H.E. Cohill would preach about, my uncle took that and he was 10 times harder. So the women, what? We don't want him. And this is what my uncle, now I'm older now, and my uncle would tell these stories. You know, it will be considered to be story time. And he said women will try to provoke him to get it in. One woman showed up to the door in some lingerie and took nice, I don't think it was called lingerie, but whatever type of sexy stuff that the saints would wear, try to seduce my uncle. They wanted to seduce my uncle. They wanted to seduce him. And he wouldn't fall for it. And they hated that. The women at that particular time at True Church, a lot of them were taking people's husbands. Baby, you'll be sitting in the congregation. Again, I can't contest to this. I'm only getting to the I'm only going by what the saints be saying. So it was a controversy in the church. Now, I'm not gonna say no names because my show is big and I can't say no names. But a sister slept with another sister's husband. Now the sister is crying because her husband is cheating. So the sister came to like console the sister, and she the one that's cheating with her husband. I said, baby, wait a minute. So my uncle And because there is some older saints that have been there since my uncle first got installed, they've been there when he came off the street and got delivered from drugs. They have be said. So my uncle, he came in as the pastor. Now, mind you, H.E. Cohill, Pastor Bishop Cohill, he didn't want to get no new church. He was content with having raggedy clothes, raggedy cars, raggedy churches. He did not want to grow. That was the vision for that leader. My grandma, time she was younger, she would go find better churches for the congregation. And Bishop Cohill was like, I look into it. I'm gonna call him back. Never call him back. So when he died, because they moved around just to one dump to another dump, but the church was packed. He had a nice considered to be in a storefront. So when my uncle came in, there was a new regime change. He said, I need everybody. This was controversial because Bishop Cohill would never do this. According to the saying, the Bishop Cohill allowed people to be treasurers. They have money, and a lot of them was spending the money. They didn't believe in no bank account. My uncle came. It was a shut-in. Now, the shut-in is that some of y'all call it a locked-in when you have to be in the church Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got to fast for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No eating or drinking for Friday, Saturday. All day for about 2.5 days, you ain't eating or drinking. So he made an announcement in the pulpit, I need every treasurer to bring that money back to the church. Every treasurer bring all that money back. So people was upset because some of them had spent it, paid their bills, and they take money out of the treasury, then put money back in it. He wanted all of it back because my uncle was like, he needed to put it all in the bank because my uncle had a vision. He wanted to leave 7808 South Ashland, and he wanted to get a new church. He wanted to congregate. He wanted something new for the true church. He had a vision. He was the leader, and they was upset about that. So a lot of people started leaving. Uncle, he started preaching. He started saying no double marriages. If you was married, you cannot marry again unless your first husband or your first wife died. No women preachers. There will be no women preachers. So when the True Church House of Prayer to All Nations, they believe in women preachers. They started to change against that position to be against women preachers, where they always believe in women preachers, but this time they were more vocal. You could be women pastors. You could be women bishops. You could just, the women can like take over. And my uncle was like, according to Bishop Cohill, they didn't agree with women preachers at all. He didn't agree with women preachers at all. He said it's against the scripture. So he told the mother of the church to write a letter. We're going to leave True Church House of Prayer to All Nations. We're leaving this organization. So they left. They broke ranks. He said, we're no longer a part of the True Church House of Prayer to All Nations. We just True Church of Holiness. We're no longer affiliated with them anymore because they believe in women preachers. So they gone. So my uncle started, so a lot of the families that was under Bishop Cohill, they left. They fled. They went from having multiple families to, they started leaving. So my uncle started getting people to join the church. They started leaving. He had to beg people to stay. They didn't want to stay. They started leaving, going to heart. They left. My uncle was so controversial. They thought, right? He's preaching the word, but obviously the growth of the church, it wasn't growing anymore. When Bishop Cohill, a lot of people was committed to Bishop Cohill. Once he got, they left. So my uncle said, we move into 5735 Divena. Mind you, I'm on a full-time member. I'm just going by what the saints were saying. So they moved to 5735 South Indiana. Now, at this particular time, that was the hood. It ain't like how it is now. Back in the day, it was bad and that it was terrible. But my uncle said, no, this is what we're going to do. And some people said they didn't want to do it. They left. They never joined 5735 South Indiana. They left the church. They didn't agree. They felt like my uncle was moving too quick, too fast. They left. And so he proceeded to go with it. And obviously, years later, he was correct because now the church is beautiful. It's not like a mega church, but it's way better than what it was on 78. He got the church remodeled with the church money. They was able to pay off the church. The church is not in debt. So my uncle made great business decisions for the church. Now, where the church, in my humble opinion, because I can say this now because he's my uncle and I know everybody that's in there now. I grew up with him when I was a little child. I'm an adult now, so I can say this on this particular show, is that there is no more growth for right now. My uncle is older. This is the first time in the history of True Church, the first time There is no minister. My uncle is the only preacher in the church. There is no assistant pastor. There's no elders. There's no ministers. There's no evangelists. There's nobody. There's maybe a missionary, but she cannot preach. They don't believe in women preachers. And the church got less than 10 members. This is the lowest that the church have ever been in memberships. I know everybody by name. I could count them on all the members. I could count them on this. I'm not going to name their names out of respect because my show is big and people be watching this show. The saints be in the bushes because their kids be watching and they tell their parents and their parents be watching. This is the lowest. And I'm not trying to criticize my uncle because that's his goal. I don't think True Church of Holiness will have this massive membership growth until there is a new leader. Because my uncle, he's stuck in his ways. My uncle was in his 60s, about to be in his, I believe he's born in 1954. I believe 1954. I know he was born in the 50s. I think I'm going to say 1954 because I think he was born 1 year before Brown versus Board of Education. I think 1954, 55. Okay. Anyway, but he's stuck in his ways. There is no growth. The members that was there, that it was a little bit more. One of them passed away. Some have left. All the youth, and this is the main thing that I will say, and I'm going to close. That when you don't know how to keep the youth, and the youth, when the youth leave your church, the future is leaving your church. That's the future. So the future is gone. And the reason why I think the church is holding on, he would say, is by the grace of God, correct. But it's about 2 or 3 people that is keeping the church going. It's about 70. He's in his, right, thank you. About 2 or 3 people. I could name 2. I'm gonna name 3 that give great, that keeping the doors open. But when y'all be messy and push out the youth, everybody would say, why don't True Church go live and stream live? And my mother said, they put Marquise in them was doing that. He did all that. You push all the people that was, we were live before all the, we were live, we weren't live streaming, correct. We were doing CDs, DVDs, but you push the youth out. So that means the youth is gone, the future of the church is gone. There's no future. When this sister died, a sister died in her bathroom, boom, that's another member gone. Her daughter already left the church because my uncle said you can't be married, double marriages. She left her husband because she said, Saints, my husband was married before, and you said we going to hell if we in that double marriage. So she left her husband, left him. I don't think she divorced him. If she did, he still got power because I still got the daughter. If you leaving the daughter with everything else, the daddy still got influence. So when she died, he didn't want that sister funeral at my uncle's. He couldn't eulogize his own member. The husband said no, because what he believed, I didn't never talk to him on the phone, but I got common sense. You told my wife to leave me. You ain't eulogizing this funeral. Then it's my grandmother. Been in the church in 1971. I think 1 year before my mother was born. Either 1971. She pulled up to True Church. Now, she forgot to mention this in her testimony, and this is why it's good to have a mama that know all the tea. My mother told me. She said, you know what? They ain't gonna tell you this. It was my daddy, your grandfather, was at True Church first because he was a preacher. He introduced your grandmother to the church. Something happened. He left the church. And I said, Mama, why did you leave? And she kept saying, she said, once my daddy left, I left. I never knew the real reason, but I'm going to find out. Why did he leave the church? Because he was a preacher. He left. And my mother left. So when she left, we didn't go. We go when she go, because guess what? She the mama. We go where our mama go. If she go, we go. It wasn't no we. It was just, I wasn't really in the picture. I was in the picture, like, wasn't really, because he left. I was a little baby. Anyway, my point is, we only went to church when she went. And the only reason why I joined and became faithful is because I moved with my grandmother, and then I went where my grandmother would go. And she went to church Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, every second Saturday, all day Sunday. And the only reason why she not doing it now, because she got sick, had a stroke, worked herself all the way up to a stroke, and she's in a nursing home today. And so again, I agree, because people say that's God's law. I think it's a way that you delivers God's law. Your delivery is key. And my uncle, his reasonable say, I'll be like Paul, though I be rule in speech, but you're not Paul. And I think it's your delivery. And that's my humble opinion. And then it ain't just the word. It was other secret, sideline, evil deals that was done. The word ain't got nothing to do with that. Because the word said, thou should not lie. Thou should not cover up sin. Not only them that do it, but them that partake in it. We talk about the word. Let's keep talking about the word. When people were, we're going to come down this road. And I'm going to close. When people was getting fondled with, my uncle took the side of the fondler. When a sister got pregnant and statutory R word, a minor, and she was an adult, you told the parent, don't press charges. That's against God. Why are you telling that mother not to press charges and she committed a crime? You covered up a crime. That's why the church ain't growing. See, I got more stuff to tell in the story. Those two main focal points made him lose more members. And that's why I said my uncle is a man and he made a bad decision. And he got mad because he never thought nobody was ever going to find out. He never thought that Brother Wiley was going to gain much influence and tell that story. Because people forget about that story. How do you know that story? Because the woman that slept with the minor told me that personally. She got pregnant with the twins. They my god kids. She said, Marquise, we was in the meeting, and your uncle said, the boy, the minor, mama said, I want her to go to jail. And my uncle said, no, what about our kids? Well, what about her son? She made this man a father before his time. He was at Chicago Military Academy, Bronzeville, off of my word, because he saw me in the military school, so he got accepted. That lasted maybe 2 years. He dropped out. It was bad. And then he said, Marquise, you sure that ain't your kid? I'm sure, sir. Them ain't my babies. Both their eyeballs is straight. And last time I checked, I didn't deposit no seed in her yoni. And the timeline don't make sense, because while she was doing that, I was way gone in the military long before all that mess happened, when I was gone. And that ain't my baby. That came just looking like that family. And the T came out. See? Joyce, we can see you, honey. Sit on down and send a donation. Don't even say, can you see me? Send a donation. Send a donation. Good God, bye. So that's what I got to call that out, because that was wrong. And then people left. And then my uncle was being messy. Yeah, you preaching the word, but you also was being messy in the pulpit, telling people business, telling me information that a teenager should not know about members. I should have the stuff that I was saying on my YouTube channel when I broke ranks with my uncle. People were saying, how does he know this? How does this man know this information? He wasn't even in the church. Who told him? And I told the people, my uncle told me that. He told me. I got it from the horse's mouth. My uncle. Why do you think, and I'm going to say this in my close. Oh, I can say this in my clothes, baby. When I went to the last visit, when I went to visit my grandmother in the nursing home, my grandmother was being mistreated in the nursing home. They know they're supposed to get her up, refused to get her up. I reported it. They told my uncle, because he's the power of attorney, and I went to sleep. I knew then when I had a meeting with the nursing home, and I got them recorded to this day, and it will be released when the spirit tell me to release it. I recorded that woman phone call. I recorded that meeting. So, recorded the meeting. They were in the wrong because that woman did not know. I know everything about this healthcare system because I do this same type of work, honey. But I'm going to let you sit and lie and let you sit and be stupid and go on and tell my uncle another lie. Now, I know, and to myself, because I know my uncle. The Bible said, know them that labor among you. You know your family. I knew how that picture was going to play out. I said, okay, I understand. And I said, she going to call my uncle. I went home. I went to sleep in a good sleep. My mother's boyfriend banged on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Wait, Marcus, wake up. Wake up. Man, what's going on? Why your uncle up there going off on your mama about you? What's the problem with you and your uncle? I said, don't worry about that. Ain't nothing but the devil. Because if I see my grandmother being mistreated, I'm going to say, ain't nobody studying. My mama need to get off the phone. Because they ain't going to do nothing but force her to get back to drink, in which it did. Then the minister, he ain't a minister no more. He trying to correct my mother. Step in. I didn't say nothing. I didn't even hear the conversation. I didn't care to hear it because I said, if you got a problem with what I said, sir, you a man, I'm a man. You call me, not my mama. You was out of order, sir. And then you're going to do nothing. Will make my mama force to drink, and she did. Got her into a drinking rant. So what did I do? I said, I will not go back to see grandmother. Because what you want me to do, mama, and them sideline comments, you want me to see my grandmother get mistreated in this nursing home, and I'm not going to just stand by and let it happen. I won't go. If I go and see mistreatment, I will report it. And I will report you too and anybody else. Don't you play with me. I said, you know what? Y'all can have that. Because what y'all doing, y'all forcing her to death. But somebody going to be able to tell the story, and it's going to be me. I'm going to leave. I packed my bags, and I left. I do not agree with you avoiding the situation. Y'all got her in a place that she being mistreated. You have her there. But you're not going to have me to be a witness to this crime. That's vicious and it's evil. And that's why the church ain't growing. You can't have a church that's growing and you mistreating a woman that's a pillar of the church. She's getting the worst treatment. You a pastor. Why your mama can't come live with you? You got the space, but go ahead and deal with that. I'm not going to be a part of that foolishness. I'm going to pack my bag, and which I did, and I left. I left. And I didn't been back since. And it's been a mess ever since. Because it ain't right. I said, I'm going to tell my platform to avoid that. And I'm going to tell the women in this chat, be careful who you put in charge of your business. Be careful who you make your healthcare proxy. Be careful who you make your power of attorney. Be careful. And just because it is your oldest child, that don't make him your responsible child. Just because they the oldest, is they responsible? You better know your children. And my grandmother picked the wrong one to do it, and she stuck in that nursing home. And she said, why do you got me in here, Marquise? How can you put me in this nursing home? I said, grandmother, I did not put you in this nursing home. If I had the power, you will be out of this nursing home today. Why would I put my grandmother in there? I didn't got the power. You signed some papers, so I called somebody. I said, can you please go talk to my grandmother to instruct her to let her know what she signed. I called the people, Adult Protective Services. I said, please educate her, informed her of what she signed so she can know what she signed, so she can know her rights. Because many people go to nursing home, think they got to stay there. No, you don't. You got rights. You ain't forced to be there. You got rights. Most elderly people in nursing homes don't know their rights. They prey on uneducated people. I said, go there and inform her of her rights to let her know what she signed. And that's why she's there. I did my work, packed my bags, got on that plane, and I was gone. Had to do that. And then she still be saying, why you don't come visit? I tell her the truth. Because, grandmother, I cannot see you being mistreated. And I stand up for you. And you see the mistreatment. You want me to fix it. But then your son, did you change up? I can't deal with that, grandmother. You like to flip-flop. So respectfully, I will call you when my mother show up on the phone, and you can have that. I don't need to see the mistreatment because I know you still been mistreated. I know. And she was saying some more complaints because they don't come visit you at 8 a.m. in the morning where the real mistreatment go on at. They don't come at 8 a.m. in the morning when they first have visiting hours. You go there when the doors first open up, and you will see how good that place really is. And if you really want to get technical, anybody got people in nursing home, put a camera in that room. You're going to see how good that nursing home is. And I can guarantee you some of y'all going to leave that watching that footage heartbroken. You're going to leave that crying. You're going to see some stuff that I hope your heart's strong enough to take it. On that note, I saw it. I love my grandmother. She didn't have to be there at all. She didn't have to be there. But she signed some documents, and I told my grandmother, it seemed to me, I didn't tell my grandmother this. I didn't tell her this. I told my mother. I said, I think my grandmother has signed her own death wish. She signed it, sealed it. She signed it over. And then my grandmother said, no, I don't want you because the church. That's what she kept saying. And I said to myself, I didn't say nothing. Me and my mother had a conversation in the room. This before all that. My mother was getting offended. Well, you signed the papers in the church. And my grandma was going on. I didn't say a word. Because what can I say? Because what I was saying, what my grandma not here, because I feel like it's unprofessional to tell her what she already know. I said the same church people you put your faith in and your own son put you here. And then people be lying to the people, oh, she doing good. No, she ain't. You better call me. They ain't got to call me. I do my own show. They watch. They know the truth. Now let me go see the real truth. Let me go see that brother Wiley. She's suffering. Anytime you in a nursing home with 1.5 stars, you ain't been treated fairly. You suffering. Read the views. 1.5 stars. You getting tags from the state. You think she doing good? Wake up. I mean, one time we was there and the sister saw my grandmother. We went. It was an emergency. Well, my uncle said it was emergency. Oh, they had to do a cold blue. I said, a cold blue? That means she ain't breathing. So I rushed to the nursing home. They almost had to do a cold. Wasn't nothing wrong. My uncle saw me come with a bag. I come with my gym stuff. I said, let me go to this nursing home and get on the Lyft and Uber. My producer is a witness of that because I was on station here. I rushed to the nursing home on the Uber and the Lyft. Get in there, rush. She said, okay. And my uncle said, did you hear about this brother Victor? Did you talk to brother Victor? You in Texas, right? Did you talk to brother Victor? I said, excuse me? I said, sir, he's in Houston. I'm in Dallas. And I ignored it and I moved on to talk to my grandmother. I'm like, girl, we ain't trying to be messy. I thought you said grandma had a cold blue. You want to be messy. Now, since you want to talk about brother Victor, I'll talk about him right now on the show. So before we get to the brother Victor part, let's talk about grandma. So grandma, I'm there. I said, yeah, I got to fly back out to go back to Dallas. So talking to grandma, we talking, blah, blah, blah. And my uncle said, okay, we just gonna leave because we got to go to church. And this is the comedic stuff in me. I didn't say nothing, but this is what I said on the inside. Baby, you can have that press service right here in this room. You can bring your whole congregation and y'all can sit right here and have church in this room with the member that have been here the longest. Okay, it's getting dark. I said to myself, It's getting dark. You got a car. You ain't walking. You ain't in no Uber and Lyft. You ain't driving in the dark. You got to have somebody to drive you around to go see your mama. Any other day, you driving around going to get coffee and meeting up, linking up. Go ahead. You can go leave. So they left. This is my grandma. Whew. I'm hungry. She did all and didn't tell them that she was hungry. She told me. I said, grandmother, why didn't you tell them that you're hungry? I told the people, I said, she's hungry. Feed her. She needs to be up. She needs to be eating. She's hungry. So they bring her dinner. And then a sister that grew up, that taught me in youth service and taught me to be a youth director and all that type of stuff, she showed up. She saw the food that they feed their grandmother. She looked at me. She said, they feed them this? I said, yes, ma'am. They feed them this. I said, yeah. I said, they need to talk to her private of attorney, her son, to tell them bring her better. This is what they feed her. If you come visit, you will see what they, I don't need to come visit. I know what they feed them at their serve. Slop. I know what they feed them at these nursing homes. Slop. They ain't feeding you no gourmet, top of the line chicken. You gonna get in big bundles and boxes. They're gonna rip it over, let it defrost if it's good enough. No season, just bland slop. She looks at, this is what they feed her? Of course. As well as that. It's miserable. Of course. You put yourself in my grandmother's shoes, you live there, and you ain't gonna be just as jolly. You're gonna be mean. Because look look at the situation that you're in. That's painful. Then it's the real drama goes on when visiting hours is over. That's why you got to have cameras all in them rooms. Because that's when the real drama goes on. When 7 o'clock, when visiting hours is over, when there's no money family, that's when everybody don't care nothing about your grandma or any of them patients. Everybody on their phone, sleeping, don't care. They pissy, poop up. They don't care about changing them. Who cares? So what? They short. They working with 2 CNA, need about 8, probably about 2, if 2 of them show up. That's when the real drama go on. I'm trying to school you and tell you the truth. You think I'm lying? Put one in that room. I can guarantee you I'm not. Especially you can just look at the reviews. All right, we open up the phone lines for about 10 minutes because I know y'all want to call in because I'm touching on a real subject. So give me a time where I can open up the phone lines. Okay? So I've seen it happen, but people don't want to listen to the Wiley Show. You better listen to people with that experience. Baby, I work every area of long-term care. That's the worst type of care. I worked in every area. I worked at some good ones, and I worked at some bad ones. I can count on my hand the good ones that I worked on. I worked at one good one. I worked at one good. Hello, you live on the Wiley Show. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, Wiley?
Yes, I can.
All right. I just wanted to thank you for giving us a live on Easter. You done talked us all the way into April Fools.
Did I talk to y'all all the way to April Fool? And what I'm talking about it's April, but this ain't no food type of.
It's not a joke.
Real. Baby, this is real. Yeah, but it's April Fool's Day. It's April. This is a countdown to Vegas, baby. But go ahead, sister.
Yeah.
What's on your thoughts? What's on your mind?
Yes. No, like I said, I just wanted to call and tell you thank you. And, I appreciate you for coming back to Dallas and, super excited for you to, I thought you was going to Atlanta. So are you staying down here now?
Oh, no. For me, I'm just going down to Atlanta to visit. Like, I'm not going down to move Texas where it's at because Texas is good. It doesn't make sense to go to Atlanta where it's so congested. Texas is so much space, so much opportunity, but Atlanta is where I'm visiting. Like, Atlanta is where I'm visiting. Okay. Unless some miraculous offer come for Atlanta to just go down to move, but no. Right now I have more years here in Texas, but Atlanta, I will be doing a lot of shows in Atlanta. But yes, but not to move.
Yeah.
Time. No, Atlanta is good for me to do my entertainment business, but Texas is what I'm saying because business wise, Texas is it's good. I built a good community of supporters here and friends and extended family, so it doesn't make sense to leave.
Absolutely. You have Nate Duck coming down here to visit you all the way from Houston. You don't want to leave him,
No,
because
yeah,
Atlanta's
don't
too
want to leave
far.
my husband.
No, of course not, because he might divorce you. But anyways,
Okay.
I do I did want to talk about the topic, Wiley, of
Okay.
Offset. And the only reason why I bring up Offset is because I watched his Club Shay Shay interview.
Okay.
And when I watched it, he was struggling to pull, because Shay Shay asked, what are your top 3 tattoos? And he was like, oh, I got 5 kids. And so I wanted you to talk about this because Cardi B became a baby mama.
Mm.
And you always talk about this all the time, and there's nothing wrong with baby mamas because, I mean, they're strong, beautiful women. But Cardi B thought that she was better. She was different. Oh, I'm going to get this man and he's going to change for me. And a lot of women think that. But I looked at his hand and he wasn't even wearing his ring. So I Googled,
Uh-oh.
like you always teach us to do on Google. It said they're actually divorced.
What?
So I didn't know that. So I just want to leave you with that nugget. I can't believe Cardi B became a baby mama. I'm shocked. But yeah, it said 2017 to 2023. And we in 2024. So
Mm-mm. And then we
yeah,
won't know until, because internet is like cap too. Like for like divorce stuff, I will have to like
that's
verify
true.
to see if it's like cap or some or that nature. Because I believe honestly that they're still married. Because if they would have gotten divorced in Georgia, best believe that tea would have came out on TMZ, divorces final, etc. Because most of that is public record, unless they were in California where. No, everything is like with divorce stuff. That's public, especially if Offset and Cardi, because they know the people in the court. They know the tea, and if they and TMZ got so many people on their payroll, that tea would have been exposed a long time ago if she really went in there and got divorced. Now they probably not as close in home. That could be true. But she became another baby mom, no different than Sierra. Remember, Sierra thought she could change
Future.
Future, and she became
Yeah.
just one of the most famous baby moms. She had more money than all the baby moms combined together. But Future gave her the same treatment. He dogged out, gave her some good pain. He's treated her, made her come multiple times, but he treated her bad. And what
Yeah.
did she do? She settled for security for a guy that's not a thug, a guy that's a Christian, read his word, eat olive oil and cold milk. He fast and pray. But originally, she didn't want that. She could have had that day one. She wanted that
Yeah.
future energy. But she saw, baby, this may be fun to make me come, but this ain't fun to build a legacy. This ain't fun to build a future. I have to
That's
literally
true.
share a future with all his other hoes and his baby moms. Like, I can't do that. So Sierra woke up.
You're right. You're right.
But originally she wanted Future. She didn't want no Russell. What's the guy name she went down? What is it?
Yeah, but a lot of women do that.
Yeah,
They
right.
get with the guy who they really want, and they try to change him,
Oh, you ain't gonna
and
better
they think
change.
that, oh,
Nope.
I'm different. I'm different. I'm gonna show this man something different. But you can't change a man. He has to want to.
Did K. Michelle say that before she got all that concrete in her cheeks? Yo, did she say you can't raise a man? Can't
You said you can't
raise
raise.
no man. He's
You can't.
gonna do what he's gonna do. He's acting like a boy. That's what she said. But she tried to change her body and it didn't work. So she had.
It didn't. Yeah, it all fell out. I did want it made her sick. But anyways, I did want to tell you because I see Russell Wilson is in the chat, and they say everybody needs a Russell Wilson. But we got to talk about this. He actually married a white woman first.
Of course he did.
He
White
did, and then
women
he
like
went black.
but white women like the squares. White women,
Yeah, but he went back to a black woman.
of course, because you know what? He probably couldn't really fit well with that white woman. And let me get on camera with this particular point. And I want to say this. You and I got to be careful of what I say about this because right now in my mind, I don't want to date black. What my preference that I would love to do for a good image, I would love to stay within my community. But what if economically everything changes with me and I don't find a black woman to fit my goals or that's attracted to me. What if I find a white woman like my father, my biological father found a white woman that I am attracted to, that I love. This is the thing that we got to stop listening to Dr. Umar, who's not married, that old child support debt, and can't keep an apartment for his life, and can't keep a clean apartment either. Get into that tea. You don't know who you gonna fall in love with. Even back during the civil rights era, there were plenty activists that was saying, we skip all these white folks. But secretly, they was red and white peen. Secretly. Because you don't know who you really gonna fall in love with. You don't know. And every white woman or every black or white man is not KKK. There is some white people that understand the struggle of what a black person do because they research, they understand the struggle. Shirley Chisholm wrote in her book, Unbought and Unbossed. Give me a second. And I read some in her book. She said, many of my black constituents believe that I should just hire an all-black staff. But she said, I would love to. But if I get qualified applicants and they just so happen to be white, they give them the job. Why would I not give it to them just because they don't fit the black? And she said, I have qualified black people. She also said that it was disrespectful when one of her black constituents said to one of her white staffers, because she was so good, that you black on the inside. You got that blackness on it. That's disrespectful. I understand you try to give her a compliment, but that's insulting. There's no difference of me being an intelligent black man. I know how to do accounting. You know you white. You got some white in your blood. That's disrespectful. So what I'm saying is you don't know where your heart gonna be at 33 years old. And Brother Timothy Bland said something. He said something to me. He said, brother, you have not lived long enough. You don't know what. Your life is just getting started. So you can say something at 33 and next year or 43, you have a white woman, a Latino woman, an Indian. You don't know who you gonna fall in love with. If I would have known that, hell, I would have been in love already with a black woman. Did it happen yet? No. So again,
Wiley, do you want a white woman?
I don't. What I want is love. Skip the color. What I want is love. An amazing partner.
Right.
If I have to give it a choice and put it on the thing, and like they said, Vision Boy, I would firmly love to have a black woman. My mother is black. My grandmother, I would love to have a black woman because I understand what Dr. Umar is saying about black economics. That's the greatest way to create massive black wealth. You marry a black white, we have black children. But
now, Wiley, you said white is right.
But what if I meet me a Karen and I fall in love with me a Karen? I fall in love with Ariana. What? I don't know. I don't know where my life going to be in the next 10 to 15, 20 years. So white is right. Black is right if you're dealing with the right ones, if you're dealing with the right blacks. My thing is, stop trying to put a color on love because you're going to hold yourself back. And that's why some of our leaders that was in the civil rights era that did some great work, they married a white woman. Lovey versus Virginia, that interracial thing started because a white man married a black woman in Virginia, married her in D.C., went back to Virginia, somebody reported them, and they got arrested. And then the white community was telling that white man, you is an N-word lover. Leave her alone. But he couldn't leave her alone. Why? Because he was in love. The same thing with the black woman. Why couldn't she leave that white man alone? It was causing her issues. She was going to jail. She was pregnant. She had to have the baby. She had to sneak in back to Virginia to have the baby for her white mother-in-law to deliver the baby. Why did she go through all that hell? Why? Because she was in love. And they fought for that. And the Supreme Court said and agreed. This is unconstitutional to restrict a person of getting married because of their color. That's against the Constitution. That's a violation of their rights. And now people like Kamala Harris and Doug is able to get married because you had Virginia versus Lovin back in the 60s. That's why Kamala is able to go and sit and watch President Biden and see her husband smile at her up in the gallery, up top. Because there was a black woman and a white man that fought for that took a risk, almost lost their life. So again, you don't know who you're going to fall in love with. It's easy to say it. And we don't even know that if Dr. Umar even screwing a white woman on the side. Because again, he telling us to date a black woman, but where's his black wife? Caller, you there? Where's his black wife? Why did he stay with his children's mother? Frederick Douglass married a white woman. Yeah, at the beginning he married a black, but toward the end of his life, he married a white woman. So do that throw away all the good that Frederick Douglass contributed to society? Does it erase all the good that Frederick Douglass did for us because he slept with a white woman? Hell no. Have several seats. White folks have been sleeping with black folks for centuries. That ain't changing. If you just read a book, it's been going on for a long time and it ain't changing. It ain't gonna never change. You're gonna always have people to sleep with different races. They ain't gonna never change. So we just go ahead on with that outdated thing that's outdated. All right. That was it. I'm sorry, caller, to cut you off. That was it. I had to get a history lesson. Oh, baby, I'm ready. I'm turned up.
I'm still here with you, Wiley. I just had to, make that assessment about off cheat, as you say, and just call that out with him and Cardi. So, I want me a Russell. Well, I have a Russell Wilson type of guy, but I started with the thugs too. Because of the feeling. You have the rough side. You think they're gonna protect you, provide. And then look where you end up. So
and then you have to grow out of that. And there are some sisters that never grew out of it.
Yeah.
And then when you do get out of it, look how many kids you got out of that situation. How much mess you in. So that stop your chances of getting that type of Russell. But that's not impossible. But that's going to take God.
Yeah.
That's going to take God. Because first of all, to even put you back into the dating pool, your first priority is your family, your children.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even have the freedom just to go on a date, a random date. Hey, baby, let's go. Hey, baby, let's go to Houston for a weekend. You can't do that. You got 6 kids. You got to worry about their schedules.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I can because I don't have that.
Yeah, ain't that what happened with the girl in Chicago? She couldn't get a babysitter, right?
She couldn't get a babysitter. That's what disrupted. She nowhere could get a babysitter. And it looked like God didn't want that to happen because it looked like that baby daddy didn't want to take that child. It looked like he smelled a man coming around. Nope, I ain't taking a nope. So we couldn't do so. And God didn't want me in that situation because it was a mess. Number one, her man, she was in a mess. I'm just say that she was in a mess, and God said, "No, I don't want you in that. I want you with some. That's a mess. Don't even I tried to make that work. God said, nope, it ain't gonna work. Stop it." And it didn't work. And I knew then. I said, "That's a mess. Why be in a mess? Why do that? Because you don't have that. She got all that unnecessary drama. When you get on the phone, drama, baby, I don't got that. I when she started talking like that, I put that phone on mute and I go eat, put my chicken in the air fryer, go listen to music and all that. Because you and all that stupid man, you made that decision. You slept with a man in the wheelchair. He got you pregnant, and he treating you like
Wait
a
a
dog.
minute.
He treats you worse than people that can walk with their 2 feet and do a marathon. This Negro can't even get up and walk and do a marathon, and yet he dogging you out, and you allow him to whoop you in a wheelchair. He can't get up. I know he wheelchair bound. Oh, the girl, woman, we are not the same. And then you try to bring up me being bisexual, baby. You need a bisexual, a trisexual, as long as he a good sexual. But how's it working for getting somebody that's just fully straight in a wheelchair? Whooping you, got you with a baby, and you with the best. So I'm gonna take my bisexual behind with a successful show, and it's predicted to be a millionaire. We will be having millions, and you struggle. You go right ahead and struggle. Because that's you. You go ahead on and you struggle. I'm going to take my bisexual self, because you bisexual too, but your bisexual is different. You just like fish. I like beef, booty, and yoni. But you take that. And I'm going to take my future. We're going to go. But then she calls every blue moon. Because you still struggle. Ain't nobody paying you. All the type of guys you going to get is screw you over. And I say, I think you need to stop. Better have no more children. You good with just one. You keep having more. You going to be just like the rest of these women on Kendra G. Yeah, Kendra, I work, man, 6 figures. A big feet. 850 crash score, no kids. She got kids all in the back. That'll be the future. But I knew that wasn't for me. I knew that. And I tried to make it work because I'm like, oh, okay, I tried to make it work. I tried to settle. But I said, child, why settle for this? And now look at me now on the phone, doing my show, living my life, being successful, because people just, and I thank God for not having that mess, not dating women. And to some brothers too, why are we attracted to women that got baby daddy drama? And we don't got no baby mama drama. We settling. That's no different than a woman dating a thug with baby mama. Like, no. Why stop?
Yes.
I don't have that. So I was kind of attracted to like toxic women. I'm like, why is I attracted to toxic women? What about the good one? So now I have to get that out of my system. And now it makes sense. So now I'm looking at other stuff. Now it's another woman that caught my eye and all that type of stuff. But it is what it is. And then as an entertainer, because I do storylines and also the man part. Again, you buy. I say this, and you're a witness to this. So I'm gonna say it because you're a producer. Whoever come first and that treat me right, that align with my vision, we good. It could be a man. And the reason I like being bisexual, because you got 2 choices. Whoever come first with love. I don't know if we're going to come. Nate is on the short list. He up top. He didn't boost this up top because I never thought I could see myself. And again, this is me being real. You can feel the energy. I never thought I can see myself with a man, like settle for a man. That's because my own ideals. But meeting Nate, I can see myself with that energy, with that.
Wiley, I just sent you a text message because I asked my boyfriend, because he's working overnight. I said, baby, would you date me if I had 2 kids? And he said, honestly, no.
Oh, I see the text. You said, baby, would you date me if I had to? Say, honestly, no. Appreciate your honesty. You welcome, baby. You see how honest that man was?
Yes. Oh, wow. I had to, wow.
But I'm happy. But the reason why I respect you asked the question correct. And I respect your man for being honest.
Yeah.
For being honest. So I told he ain't lying. That's the truth. Yeah. If you had all that, why would he settle for that? He ain't got that.
He don't have no kids. Wow. Well, I don't have kids either, but I just want to know.
Now you know. now you know. So a lot of what the brothers said on them podcasts, they're not lying. I mean, no. We don't, you know what I'm saying? And only men that do it, we really just gonna try to hit, but we ain't gonna try to marry you like that. We just gonna pump some more in you, but we ain't gonna marry you. We'll wait and dump all them babies, some brothers, not all, and go marry another woman and start a new family. And you gonna be hurt, but you gave me all that. And they mine, so what? I went in love with you, trick. They gonna get mean. But you gonna be around all these babies. So what? I want you. I want her. And they start a brand new family. That's men. That's just. But yeah, he
Wow.
told you he was honest. He was
He was very
he
honest.
was very
Right.
honest, and he said honestly no.
He did. He did.
He said honestly no.
And he takes back in 12 seconds.
He
He
texted.
didn't
Yes, he
even take.
did. That's what I'm talking about. See, it's good to have those conversations to
It
get it from a
is.
man's mouth, and you didn't judge him. It's good to have that.
But why I never asked him that question? I just assumed, I was the
See?
one for you. If I had kids, you would date me. If I didn't, you
Oh
would still.
no! Like, get your head out of that fantasy land, guy. Most men ain't gonna want to do that.
Yeah,
It ain't
I
too
had
many
no
men
idea.
that's gonna pull up to that because how that man think and with the mess. I was with the girl in the Chicago Bay. It wasn't just her good, but you got a daughter. So that means that man have input in the relationship. Why do I say that? It's because that's his daughter in the relationship. So he's gonna have input, and that's gonna disrupt what we trying to build. I don't want my daughter around here. Da 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 da. So it's gonna be a tug of war. And I'm not gonna stop being a good man because if I take her out, and if her daughter gotta come, we gonna get the best. I'm not gonna prevent, like, you know what? I ain't gonna feed the daughter because the father don't ever. No, she gonna eat too. We gonna have fun, but it's gonna disrupt him because he's in a wheelchair. He can't walk. His daughter can walk. I can walk. His mom can walk. His baby mom can walk. And I'm gonna give her what he's not giving her, which is time and attention, and take her out and let her experience the world, and that's gonna be a problem. And so, no, that's why I saw it, and it came very early, very quickly, because even us going to the movies, that was a mess. We went to the movies, and her new friend Wiley, and who's this one on one? Because I brought my niece. You got your daughter. I
Oh,
brought my niece. I will bring my niece. Mhm.
you brought your niece with Chicago Bay daughter?
Yeah, because she brought her daughter.
Oh,
So I said, when bring when they're the same age. So why not? You know what I'm saying? So the little girl can have somebody else to talk to, you know what I'm saying? And all of
why
that.
you kissing up to her mama? What y'all go see the Little Mermaid?
Right. We went a little bit, we went and seen a couple other stuff, but it was a problem because children talk. They're gonna, if it's good moment, they're gonna tell, she's gonna tell people. And he didn't like
Kids are just honest in general.
that.
The honest
Honest in
people are
general.
when you drunk, elders and children.
Yes.
Those are the people that are gonna tell you the truth. My grandmama will say some crazy stuff. She said, "Girl, if you don't lose weight, ain't no man gonna want you." I'm like, "Grandma, we're the same size. What the hell?" Or
So
she'll say,
that's how that
"Better get in there and
is.
cook."
That's how,
Old
because my
people
niece
would
told her,
tell
like,
you.
"Oh, why you walk like that? Why your arm like
See,
that?" That's
kids honest.
and I told my niece before, when I got the rental car, I said, "Niece, she have it. What's a disability?" I'm trying to school her, but again, she's a child. She saw her. Why your arm like that? Why you walk like that? I said,
Yeah, kids are honest. Well, Wiley, I'm gonna let you go. I just want. Are you gonna meet up with your boyfriend on Jack? Or you sorry,
"That
yes.
ain't my boyfriend." Yeah, I'm just it. No, I'm not gonna. Oh, that could change. I'm single and everything like that. And thank you for saying you was gonna meet up with me and Nate. That was a vibe. I was so happy. We definitely gonna meet up.
Yes.
Nate is gonna come back. Like, I'm really falling for like that friendship, and I'm joking about relationships in that it's about the friendship. I
Right.
needed more
Yeah.
friends, more genuine friends. So I don't have to pay for something. That feels so much good because I was getting in the season of leechers, and Nate just came and disrupt that. Like, you ain't got to
Yeah.
sell us to that. You got to have your own. Like, you didn't have to worry. Like, he have his own. Like, I
Yeah.
love
Nate
them
is a
type of.
vibe.
He's just a vibe, and that story time. You could tell, and you watch the story. You could tell that
I did.
I love. Like, I was happy. I was.
Oh, how is Anthony?
Anthony is fine. He's out of the hospital. Hey, Shabashaya. He's out of the
Yes.
he's out of the hospital. That brother is good. He's sober. I think he's sober now. Hopefully he's sober now. But He's out of the hospital. Shout out to our amazing care in Dallas that they made sure he got fluids and IVs and stuff. They made sure he sobered up before they put him back out in the street. So he's good. He's good. He's good. And I got an update on my Sweet Georgia Brown review. The food tastes, but the chicken tastes even better when I warmed it up. When I warmed it up, when I got done doing the show, I warmed it up. And that cornbread that Nate said it tastes good, but it had to be hot. It didn't taste good that cold. And I warmed it up and good. It was steaming hot, and I ate it really good. It was a good.
Now I went to What's Fucking today after church because I didn't think they would be open. I just called her and she's like, "Yeah, I'm up." It was her and her husband, and they were actually open today, so I was really surprised.
Yeah, and I love the fact that because that's one of the greatest days to be open on Easter because a lot of families gonna come out buy chicken.
Yeah.
So that was good that they. I would have went today too, but I had work overnight and I slept. Child, yeah. Thank you for calling in. Thank you.
You're welcome, Wiley.
Love
Have
you.
a good one.
Or you too. Bye bye. Hello, you live on the Wiley Show.
How are you doing? It's good talking to you again.
It's good talking to you.
Well, Wiley, I wanted to comment on what you were speaking about in terms of interracial relationships.
Okay.
I think, Wiley, you don't know who you're going to end up with. And I don't see anything wrong with marrying outside of your race.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, to me, it all depends on your mental health. I think there's something going on here. And I don't want to create too much controversy. It might cause you to have more callers call in, and you might be ready to wrap this up. But I think there's some level of animosity that's going on in the Black community between Black men and Black women. And it's concerning. It's concerning in the sense that some people have this Kevin Samuels type way of thinking. I think it's because the missing of the father figure in the household and also the strong mothers. And I think it's creating some level of toxicity among couples. And so to me, it's really about getting good mental health and really thinking about the kind of family and legacy you want to have in terms of raising your children in a healthy environment, if that's what you like to do, or having a marriage that's healthy for you. And if that means that it's someone outside of your race, I wouldn't limit myself to that. I wouldn't, limit myself to just marrying within my race. If it means going outside of your race, then I think you should be open to whatever God has for you. It may not always work out the way you think it's going to work out.
No, and that's why it's about you don't know where your heart gonna go. You can't predict that. You can settle, but you just want to just prove wrong. But if you simply want love to work, you gotta let love work. Don't restrict love. Don't restrict it. And that's something that society is doing. They're trying to restrict love. Strong arm. Let love be love. Like even for myself, as a bisexual man, you cannot even restrict yourself with that because you know what you are attracted to. And you don't know, and you don't know where love gonna go. And that's why you just don't know. Cause like for me, I've always said on the show, wife, I'm gonna have a wife. But that may not be in the cards for me. It may be a husband. And for the Christian community that is here, I don't want you to disrupt your Christian beliefs, but don't try to force your beliefs to make them my beliefs or my family beliefs. Because as a historical fact, as historical stuff, is when white folks, they did the same material with interracial marriage. And you know what they use? The Bible. You know what they they had used the Bible for people to say God is not with that. But did that stop people from taking that risk to be even the same people that was against it, the top-notch racists and segregationists, they were still humping some Black women on the side too. So let's stop playing, especially the white men. White men have pure authority just to screw whoever. They screwed over white women, they screwed over Black women. Even the slave master, they had all type of, they was out there bringing the land back, bringing it to produce all that cotton, etc. But they also was screwing their product.
But I think with that being said, of course, I'm a heterosexual person. I am a Christian person, but I do say this though, Wiley. I think when we think about even when it comes to the Bible, it really comes down to people listening to someone else interpret it for them instead of them
You better say
self
it.
study yourself to be approved. Because there's a lot of things that the people said that the Bible says that it does not say. And you have to read it in its entirety. And I think that with that being said, though, I do know that you've always said that you wanted to have a wife. And I think that that's what you want. Then you can have that, but it may not come packaged the way you think it would
You
be.
a That's the key that you said it may not come in that package. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why
It
I
may,
just said I'm keep putting myself in a position you to work on me. So
mhm.
whatever come, I'm good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I know it's
And
gonna come.
and don't restrict yourself. I've learned
I
this
ain't gonna
too.
yeah.
Yeah, don't restrict yourself because let's just say this. Let's just say, Wiley, it's a matter of growth. It's a matter of, you know what, maybe I'm here today and this is how my mind thinks.
Come
And
on.
as you go through different experiences, you might that will that would cause you to have a different type of interest in a person. And there, sometimes you can outgrow people. You can outgrow what you thought you liked because the more you do in life, the more you see, the more you understand from your parents, and the more you're able to evolve. That changes what your interests are.
It,
That
it,
changes.
it does. And for me, I'm
Mhm.
I'm breaking those barriers, religious barriers,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking for myself.
Yeah.
And
That.
being in
Mhm.
Texas is me. I still love God. You still
Mhm.
hear God in me. Being a
Mhm.
good citizen, treating people with respect, being a
Yes.
productive person, not creating life and not taking care of it. That's one of the greatest disrespectful things that you could do to God is to create life and don't take care of life. So
Yeah.
I think I'm really working on that and I'm unlearning some bad things that I was taught.
Yeah.
Some of the bad things I was talked about women that they shouldn't be in certain positions. That was how I was taught. I had a sexist as a leader that believed that women should not be in the pulpit, women should not be in authority figures. And when I look at the history, most of the people that we upheld as true icons in the civil rights era had women writing for them, writing some of their greatest speeches, helping them with their agenda, helping to organize. Dr. King would have been trash if he did not have a strong Black women base behind him. Same with Brother Malcolm. He couldn't be Brother Malcolm if he did not have Betty Shabazz.
Yeah. And
So,
we have to look too when we think about these women like Betty Shabazz, Coretta Scott King, the caliber of those women. Those were the kind of women that you know what children were able to be raised in a good household with good values. With I mean, even though something very much tragic happened to their fathers, they did not choose to be single mothers. Life happened to them, and they had to, but they still carried themselves as mothers. And I think that a lot of times we're in a society now where you see the women at the club with their daughters, they're partying with their children. You know, dads don't want, you know, I mean, we see this thing of people wanting to be spiritually immature and they want to not necessarily be a certain
mhm.
age or certain
Oh, I see
way.
what you're saying.
Yeah, and so their kids are missing out. Kids
I
are
agree.
missing on the
But
on the
also, ma'am, respectfully, and that's why, you
mhm.
know, we have to balance it out for people like myself that don't have it to show them that everybody is not doing that. Because in every generation, there were messed up family. Even in the civil rights era, you had men that was being very disrespectful to women. And if you read Shirley Chisholm's book, Unbought and Unbossed, she
Mhm.
talked about Black men that threw her on the bus, that treated her bad, that said she should shut up. You know, so there was a lot of stuff going on back in the 60s and the 70s. Let's even talk about James Brown. He grew up before, like what, in the 40s and the 50s, 40s, 30s. So his father left, his mama and his daddy abandoned him. So during that era, everybody, yeah, you had a lot of black folks that were married, but a lot of them marriages was Me Too. DV, getting hit across the head. My grandmother got married, and on her wedding night, she got whooped by her husband. She left Georgia, left her children behind because she wouldn't have survived with that husband that she had. So
That's a good. That's a good point, and I think, Wiley, you speaking about that, I think you know what? No matter how much education you get, it doesn't change the domestic issues
no,
and violence that you saw in your life, the negativity, and the sad things that you can be a successful person, but because of your background, you may get to a point in life where it's that you start facing a lot of those demons. And I think that might be a good thing. That might be a good topic right there, Wiley. How has your childhood and what you grew up with, how has that affected your relationship?
it affects it
Do
a
you
lot.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it,
I
it,
think
it's a
that's
big piece, and that's why for me as a black man, and I was
mhm.
reading this book, and would suggest that you all go get it on Audible for those that like to listen, like podcast like myself. It's called The Invisible Ache. Black men identifying their pain and reclaiming their power. Courtney B. Vance and Dr. Robin L. Smith, they co-authored this book, and it talk about black men in particular and the trauma that black men face in childhood, etc. And we got to learn to work through it. And while reading this book, I said there's nothing wrong with getting a therapist. There's nothing wrong with talking with somebody. There's nothing wrong with working on your life and helping your life. And shout out, even though it's a white woman, a therapist on the show, but brother Courtney was on the show. Angela Bassett, he's married to Angela Bassett, and he's an amazing actor himself. And he was talking about some great stuff in his book. And this white woman was saying, Courtney was saying when he talked to his therapist, he was a safe space, and he just tried to tell her everything. And the therapist said, Courtney, you don't have to tell me everything in the first session, because he has so much in his head. But his mother told him once his father deleted himself, she said, Courtney, she sat down Courtney and sister and said, hey, we got to go to a therapist. When y'all go back to y'all places, to y'all cities, go see a therapist. And I'm going to go to a therapist as well to break that cycle. Courtney listened, so did his sister. And now Courtney is still with us. They talked about death. He said, don't be afraid of it. He was talking about all the iconic forces that he grew up that in Broadway, that they passed away, that death is going to happen. We don't know the day or the hour, but it's going to happen. He talked about how his mom passed away. And one thing that Miss Robin said in the book, and I've said it before, how she said, stop saying commit the S word. Because when you say that person commit the S word, I don't want to say the word due to YouTube analytics or the algorithm, you're saying that they committed a crime. Many people that have done it felt that there was no other way.
Mhm.
There was no other way. So let's change the words. I never thought about that to change it up. So I'm trying to unlearn just saying that, because you never know what that person went through. Even when Courtney was talking about his godson that grew up in a 2-parent household, they wasn't broke, right? They wasn't on food stamps, but he was dealing with mental illnesses. And this was during the pandemic. He went to the doctor, and they did not give him any type of assistance. They didn't allow the parents in there so they could try to help with that, because they wouldn't allow nobody in. And he went home and he hung himself. So it's sad that we are still having this conversation, because when we're talking about, mental health and childhood trauma, we don't talk about it enough in the Black community. We still hold it up as being man up, but that's a very serious thing. Even in church, they struggle with that. Even my uncle, go back to him. That's part of my childhood. He did not handle what I was going through as a child. Number one, I was violated. Well, not violent. Well, it is a violation, because if you're having intimate things with an adult and you're a child, that's, what do you call that? I don't know the word, but that's some trauma there. And I didn't know it was trauma until I
Mm-hmm.
started getting maturity. So I started educating myself. And you had a child that I was getting in with my next door neighbor. We were the same age, but we were kids and we shouldn't have been doing what we were doing. That's another form of trauma.
Yeah.
So, then mother, alcoholism, another form of trauma. Father not there, another form of trauma. Stepfather treated you differently and would say, well, these are my kids, but this is my stepchild. You felt the different type of love, another form of trauma. So I have to unlearn, work through that. Don't excuse it, work through it and make it better. So a lot of things that my stepfather did, I pulled the good that he taught me. The work he did, managing money, not good, but work he did do that. So I pulled that work ethic and unlearning, balancing a checkbook, learning how not to spend all your money, learning how to work about credit, learning how to pay things off if you buy it instead of paying it and letting it get repossessed. So you're unlearning things because of the type of trauma that I dealt with. And me, because I was diagnosed with an illness, I have to do that work times 10 to make sure that a great schedule, sleep, a good system, don't bring on all these extra stresses, and really know how to balance life. And because of all the things that I've went through due to my mental health, I thank God that I went to a mental health hospital. I
Yes.
thank God that I had a mental health counselor at the time when I got in trouble with the law, and I had a mental breakdown at the library, and I had to go to bail counseling service in Louisville. I thank God for that because that gave me the tools.
Yes, and thank God you did. And I say this too. One thing about it, Wiley, when you hear your life story, when you talk about what you went through with your mother, when you talk about all the different issues I have in your dad, what do you expect a child to do if they don't get the kind of love and support, if they feel a sense of abandonment and neglect? Do you think this child is just not going to act out? The
They're
fact
gonna
that
act out. I
yeah,
did.
so this whole idea of people wanting to get angry at you and you rebelling, you're rebelling because people are talking at you and not trying to figure out what is really wrong with you.
What?
They're telling you what they're telling you what you should do. They're saying, "Oh, this is wrong and God doesn't like this." But it's not of God not to look deeper to try to find out why this child is hurting. It's not of God to sit there and try to talk at someone and to condemn someone and not look at and just look at the surface and not say, "Wait a minute. What kind of accountability should the parents have to this child? He's just a child. And even though you're grown and you're acting out, you still got an inner child that still is screaming for what they didn't receive." So my thing, okay, so you start making all these mistakes in your life. You start doing whatever. You know why? Because somehow you are screaming for something and nobody hears the call. But yet
Oh yes.
everybody wants you to get in line because you're embarrassing the family. You're embarrassing yourself. In other words, don't show the world what we've been through. Act right. Don't act bad because when you act bad, you're causing us to face a demon that we really don't want to face. We need you to act like these things never happened to you. And I think that is such a selfish
It
thing
is a
because
very selfish thing. You
it
honest.
is a very selfish thing. So when I hear that, oh, you haven't found the right person or you endured whatever, I'm still looking at the child in you who didn't get what they deserve. And they're trying to live the best life. Thank God you survived all of that. And I say that to anybody that's listening,
Woo.
to
Thank
no matter,
God.
thank God you survived it. Thank God God was with you.
Come
Because
on.
because that you wouldn't even be who you are today. You could have just been not here, period. Everything you suffered, it could have caused you to take your life.
It could
And
have it was almost there, but because of the grace of God, this is why I
yeah,
know God is real.
that's
God
right.
Himself did that because of the story, because it would have turned out. God made sure of that. And look at it now, for where my life was there, and now it is now. And I still got more work to do, but I just thank God that now I know the type of
Mhm.
work that I have to do. That's why I kept saying to people, I need a therapist. That's one of my goals. And when the money really start flowing in, when it start flowing, that's one of the major investment will be a therapist. I will a therapy, and I'm so glad because I can't get the therapist now, can't afford it, especially the good one. I read. I listen to Audible books, amazing podcasts. Shout out to Apostle Kevin Cunningham for my pastor in Chicago. Even though I can't attend the church full time in person due to the fact of I'm out of state, but thank you to online. He said something in March. He said a month of good success, and I felt that in that month. And I still feel it in this month. And I just love that I have great spiritual counseling. And I love that I have a way to write things down, listen to things, and read things and get that positive energy and be around good people. Because I've been around a lot of people that wasn't good for my energy. They was energy drainers. So I thank God that I'm in a better position financially. Could be much better, but it ain't nowhere near like I was back in the day. And I just thank God that for the conversation we're having now, that is going to help somebody. And my main point before we close this out is families, talk to your children, talk to your husband, talk to your daughter, talk to your wife. And we should all be calling our Congress people, our senators, and there need to be a law that every American, if they want to, should be able to get therapy free of charge. That should be a right in society, is prioritizing our mental health.
That should be the number one thing on reparations. The number one thing.
That should be in the reparation. A check and the check, and then that should be in there in therapy.
You know, I mean, the reason I say that is because to know that you created all this
that trauma, yes,
and trauma, and yet, you know, so that when people do get whatever they get financially, they can spend it rightfully
because they would know how to spend it. Yes, so yes,
that's why I say that. And one last thing I want to leave this to.
Okay.
Also, due to a lot of this trauma, you see that there's this thing where you got toxic people that make you feel that you need to compete. You have this thing where it's that there's so many men that define their masculinity based on how many women they can get. And there's so many women that base their self-esteem based on how many men that they can have or what their bodies can do.
Come on.
And the thing where it's that this world tells you that you need to compete against someone else when your only competition is yourself. And if what's for you is for you. And don't let people make you feel that you got to do things that are negative to compete with someone else, only to devalue yourself and condescend yourself.
You're right. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bless you. Have a good one.
Bless you. All right. Thank you, guys. We are over our time. We thank you, ma'am, for calling in.
You're welcome.
We done. Okay. We gave y'all a show because I forgot we all got work tomorrow. Well, today. Some couple of hours I'll be in the gym. Different ones got stuff to do. So we go close and we go on and on and on and on. And my supervisor already said they ain't gonna don't do no overtime. And I can't be in there clocking in late. So we thank you all so much for coming on to the show. Thank you. Again, I was so glad that we did this broadcast, and we would love to see y'all come on more and more. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so very much, and I will see y'all later. Okay. Also, send us some topics. What do y'all want us to talk about? WileyShowProductions@gmail.com. Send us topics. I preferably like it in email, Instagram, X. Whatever you feel comfortable sending me, you can text me at 972-674-946. Do not try to call me unless you're a celebrity or you close to a celebrity. Do you call me? But try to communicate via text, because if you communicate via text, then I can remember, because I get so many messages. I mean, so many type of phone. It's a lot that I deal with. So in the text, I can always go back and read it and have that as a point of reference. Thank you all so very much, and I will see y'all later. They said Wiley got us in the straight video. I need to try to go to therapy. I get free sessions with my Blue Cross. You better come on pretty with your Blue Cross Blue Shield and your beautiful black man. All right, thank y'all so very much. I will see y'all later. Peace.